Do not panic, but school starts tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? I have to teach people? I don't want to do that. I like being a VTuber too much, guys. And the kid, what happened to my mom? Okay, the kids are gonna be here tomorrow. Someone save me, please. Save me. You guys want to watch the class for me? Do you want to watch the class for me? I promise. I promise. I promise they're nice. Probably, maybe. I have no idea if they'll be nice or not. I won't know that because they're kindergarten and we have no prior information on these little guys. It's so scary. Oh my gosh. Yes, you pay us, dude. I hardly get paid. How am I supposed to pay you guys if you work for my classroom? I hardly get paid myself. I'm a teacher. We get paid 2 cents and a penny for getting a bachelor's degree and passing a bunch of state exams. My school started last week and I'm already behind. You're already behind. Is it tough? Was school starting tough? You want to switch? No. One thing I will say, I do not miss being a student. I do not miss being a student. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real, guys. If I had to choose between like being a teacher forever and being a student, I would not pick being a student. Being a student is awful. I'm the one who assigns the homework now. I don't get the homework. I'm not the homework girl. You know what I mean? Like I give the homework. Hi 2011. I miss school. It forced me to socialize. See, I do miss that aspect about school though. You're like forced to make friends, right? Even if they're like fake school friends, you know, you only talk to them at school and you don't talk to them outside of it. You still at least had friends, you know? Even if they're just school friends. Just put a movie or something. That's how you get fired on your first day. Hey guys, it's the first day of school. Let's watch a movie. The principal gonna walk in and be like, "What are y'all doing?" And then now we all in trouble. Now we all in trouble. Panda teacher. Okay, class. Today we will learn how to use matches. No, they're 5. They're 5. We can't use matches. They're only 5 years old. It's not going to work too well. We cannot use matches. Sorry, I did think with my math model. Middle school is way harder. We get homework and do lots of work. Oh, you're in middle school. Have fun when you get to high school. Yo, teach what's good. Hey, who said my kindergartners are 5, so you guys have to be. They have to learn that at some point. I mean, they do. Hi, doggo. Bye. Let me say hi to everybody while you're here. Hi, Panda. Hi, Galaga. Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Kevin on Twitch and Kevin on YouTube. We have 2 different Kevins. Hi, Knights. Hi, Ice Tune. Hi, Jaren. Hi, Lemon Sharky. Hi, Doggo. Hi, Zodic. What are we guessing? And hi, 2011. Has everyone been properly hide? Have you been helloed? Chicken butt. Oh my god. 0 out of 10 joke. Get out of here with that. Get out of here. Give me a different corny joke. Give me a corny joke I haven't heard a million times before. Like I can't even think of a corny joke because I'm not a corny dog. I'm just a dog. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They forget we are kids. They basically are 11 and 12-year-olds and we gotta go to different classes and homeworks that too much. And also we have to change in the locker room and the gym. I guess middle school is that weird phase, huh? Middle school is that weird phase between like where they got you working because you're getting older now, but you're still a kid. I guess middle school is that weird phase, huh? Oh, y'all are about to start school. I already had a scrimmage last week and I almost got exhaustion. Yeah, today my work started last week. So we do teachers come in a week before school starts. We do a whole week of teacher work days before we actually do before school actually starts, you know, so that we can get prepped and prepared for everything. So it's not a big problem. And it was pretty lame, I'm not gonna lie. This year we spent so much time in meetings after meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. usually a lot of the stuff that we talked about this past week, we usually talk about it as the school year starts. So like maybe the first week of school we'll meet on Wednesday and talk about it or something, and the second week we'll meet again. But I guess this year we got a new principal, and I guess she preferred to get all the meetings out the way first. So when I tell you we had so many meetings, like I didn't even get my classroom done. Today was an optional teacher work day, and usually I don't go to optional teacher work day. If they optionals, I ain't coming. But because we had so many meetings last week, none of us got a chance to get our work done. So literally, I pulled up into the parking lot on an optional teacher work day, expecting a lot of teachers to not be here. And you know what happened? A lot of teachers were here anyways. They all pulled up. They all pulled up. All right. So today, I'm at lunch combination of fried rice with Chinese curry. Ooh, that sounds good. I'm a B student. I always do my assignments. Hey, that's pretty good. Good job. Get your good grades up. Get your good grades. Good grades. It's really interesting because I'm a teacher, so I am a very strong advocate for schooling. Some people be like, man, I don't care about school. I don't like school. And it's like do good in school until you decide what you want to do with your life. You know what I mean? Because doing good in school gets your GPA up, and your GPA is what lets you go to good colleges, and different schools and stuff. Like, college is not for everybody. Not everyone's gonna want to go to college, and that's fine, right? But like, at least keep good grades until you decide for a fact that like, hey, college is not where I want to go. Some people just be like, man, I hate school. I don't want to do it. And then when it's time to when it's time to graduate, now they're looking at schools because they wanted to get this specific degree or that specific degree, and now they don't qualify for any scholarships because they spent their entire high school years going, I don't like school. And then now the time comes to finally figure out what you're going to do with your life, and now you close that door. You know what I mean? So I say, guys, stay in school, do a really good job in school, and then decide from there if you don't want to go to college. But at least if you have good grades in high school, then you at least have the opportunity to continue college if you would like to. And you have the opportunity to deny it if you don't want to. You know what I mean? You get more opportunities to figure out what you want to do if you don't go to, if you take care of your schoolwork, than if you just decide, oh, I don't like it. College is too expensive. A trade school works better. Well, that's also part of, like I said, getting good grades too. Because I didn't pay for college. My college was free. They paid me to be there. And that was because my GPA was so high, right? So if you do a really good job in school, then college being expensive might not even be a problem anymore, because you might be able to apply for a merit-based scholarship, which is a scholarship for having good grades. So you always should work hard. You always should work hard at school, just in case you want to go to college, so that you can have a good standing in schools and stuff, and then you'll be able to get scholarships and stuff. Scholarships is what you work for in high school. You're working for scholarships if you like college. Hi Kodak and hi Chris. Welcome to my TED Talk on being a good student. I'm not going to college or uni. I'm going to go to trade, like mechanic. Okay, trade school is still a good. That's a good thing too. We need more people going to trade schools and stuff. Either mechanic or airplane mechanic. Oh, when I was in middle school, I wanted to build planes. That's what I told myself I wanted to do. I was really obsessed with the fact that planes were these big metal sheets of metal that just fly in the sky. Like, that's crazy. Also, Kotaru just decided to start mowing a lawn as soon as I started streaming. So you might hear the lawnmower in the background. I hope it's not too loud or too bothersome. How have you been? I'm okay. I'm just really tired trying to get readjusted to school. Middle is also a bit more strict than elementary. If you get 3 tardies, you get an office referral. I'm on my second one. Really? That really sucks. that sounds stressful though. That sounds very, very stressful. Where are you people coming from on my YouTube asking for times out? You're gonna get banned. Last time I ignored someone who said they want a timeout, they started spamming. It gets worse in high school. It can be. Well, we kind of are strict in elementary school too. In elementary school, we have this rule in play. Hi, CJ. In elementary school, we have this rule that if a parent reaches, if you're absent for 10 or more days, technically, at least in my school district, then we can take the parents to court for that. For truancy, which truancy is just a fancy word of saying, you know, you're legally required to send your kids to school. And if you go over X amount of days, then you can take them to court. At least in my area, in my school district, that court standing starts after 10 days. So if you miss 10 days of absences for no reason, like you don't have a doctor's note, you don't have any like justification for that, then we can literally take them to court, take you to court. So I don't do the court taking, the social worker does that, but I do have to provide documentation for that. You know, just documentation saying that I reached out to the parent while while their kid was absent to basically check in on them and figure out what's up, and then they still wouldn't change. They still wouldn't bring their kid to school after that. Anytime it's in high school and they can fail you for the full quarter, dude, the threshold in my district was again 10 absences. If I missed 10 absences in a semester in high school, then I could have failed. But your girl had good attendance. I mean, once you're in high school, I feel like your attendance is up to you. Like, it's not up to your parents anymore. You know, like when you're in elementary school, it's like up to the parents. So the parents get punished. At least in my district, the parents get punished if they don't take you to school. But by the time you reach high school, it's kind of your responsibility to get up and get yourself ready and go walk to the bus and get on the bus. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I was always at school on time. You look just as pretty as last time. That's so sweet. Hi, cute. I'm okay. I'm a little tired today. I've been working too hard. I went to an alternative school. And I graduated high school 2024 or 2025. Oh, okay. Did you go to college after that? What'd you do? What are you doing right now? I remember I get tardies all the time because I had 2 classes back. My parents... Jeez! Kotaru's so loud out there. My parents got in trouble for tardies because when I was in elementary school, my parents brought me to school late. Literally every single day I was brought to school late for like a year, and they threatened my parents with truancy. They sent them a letter in the mail saying, hey, if her attendance doesn't get better, we will take you to court. And then my parents got it together at that. They were so stressed after that. They were like rushing, we gotta get you to school on time or we're gonna get in trouble. Parents had no choice but to take me to school. I lived in the country and had no buses. That's valid. I feel like some places it is a little harder. At least in areas like mine where I live in a pretty decently sized city. At least in my situation, a lot of the teachers have little to no remorse when it comes to parents getting their kids to school, and it's really interesting. I wonder why that is. Why do I keep... YouTube, you're getting on my nerves. I don't know why there's a bunch of people on YouTube spamming for me to time them out. Is this gonna be a recurring thing for a while? I hope not. I remember my mom and dad went to the superintendent when I was in kindergarten because I was locked out of the school. Missed so many days. My mom and dad almost went to prison. And I got suspended for hitting someone in the face with a stick. Oh my gosh. But in reality, they walked into me. Okay, at least you didn't go over there beating people up with sticks. Alright. Yeah, I went straight to the superintendent though. How did they lock you out of the school though? Did you like come late and they just wouldn't like open the door because you came late? That's the odd policy if that's the case. If we're late, well, I guess I could kind of see that. If a kid is late, at least at my school, the parent has to sign them in. Like you can't just drop your little kid off at the door and then drive away. The parent has to like get out the car and walk the kid up to the door, sign them in, and then walk them into the building. Just that that's the problem. I think it's a new bot wave. Yeah, it sounds like it. Isn't that so odd? Like it's an annoying bot wave. It's kind of weird because on Twitch, bot waves are like Oh, you can buy followers here. You know, they're trying to sell something, right? On YouTube, the bot wave is just to get on your nerves, and it's really odd. Like, there's no motive other than just to make you roll your eyes. It's so weird. No, school should not be that stressful. Yeah, I mean, I don't think school should be as stressful as it is. I feel like we work kids a little too hard, but I can't control that. Yesterday, I had someone stick around for a whole hour before trying to get me to buy emotes. That's crazy! Not they stuck around for an hour. In a whole hour before they dropped the, hey, I do emotes. I make art. Would you like some? Would you like some? Oh, you know. 14 to 60 is ungodly. Actually, that is true. Y'all got 14. People in 8th grade are 14 to 16 years old. In 8th grade, you should be 14, and then by the time you're 15, you should be moving on to high school. Yeah. Are they a real person? I kind of admire the dedication. Yeah, I mean, I can't say that isn't. I can't say I haven't experienced that. Especially when I first started streaming, I've noticed that I've noticed that bots are a lot bolder. When it comes to smaller channels, like when my channel was smaller than it is now, I used to have bots in it left and right. But then after I started averaging, like I would say like a certain, like 10 or more viewers, should I say? Then suddenly bots disappeared. They started disappearing. You know, Pinky, you're making a joke, but I bet you that link takes you to something sus. Somewhere sus. Alright, guys, let's talk. Let's talk because work has started. So I wanted to talk about what work's like and what it's gonna be like this upcoming week. And y'all, I'm gonna give you all the tea next week. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it because all the kids are coming tomorrow. I meet my kids tomorrow and like all throughout the week. So I promise you, I will do it just chatting next week and we will have a talk, okay? I will let you know about everything. I will let you know all the tea. I'll let you know if some of the kids are crazy. I'll let you know if I go crazy. I will have so much tea for you guys tomorrow, next week. You don't understand. Streaming when it's midnight here again? I'm sorry. Yeah, this is going to be my normal stream time now. Sorry. I had to work. So before I was streaming at 11 a.m. Eastern time, but now that I'm working, I'm working and I'm back at my job, I have to stream after work. So it's around 6 p.m. So it's unfortunate because I have a lot of European people who watch me. But during the weekends, I'll still stream in the morning so that my Europeans can get there. It's 3:31. Oh, that's perfect. AM or PM? Cyan, you teach kinder, right? Yes, I teach kindergarten. So what's going to happen this week, right? Oh, hi, Kirby of the Stars. I know you. You played Air Riders with us. Hi. Oh, hi, Daisy's World too. We got 2 Kirby peoples here. Hi. Guys, so school starts tomorrow for my kiddos, right? For my students. And this is how it's going to go. And I will promise you guys, like I said, I will have so much tea available for you guys next week. I will tell you about all of my kids. All right. When I meet them. But this week starts staggered entry. And the way staggered entry works in kindergarten is that every single day we get a different set of kids. So on Tuesday, tomorrow, I'll get 4 kids. And then on Wednesday, I'll get 4 more kids. And then on Thursday, I might get 3 kids. And then on Friday, I might get 4 kids again. And so you do that so that you don't shock these kindergartners. Like you don't drop off a bunch of kids who don't know what's going on all at the same time. It's really so that you don't freak them all out all at the same time. You know what I mean? And so that you can learn them individually, because trying to be responsible for 18 kids who that don't know what's going on and you've never seen their faces before is very hard. Bow bow, hi there. It's very difficult. So we do staggered entry. So they can get accustomed to being in a school. They can get a general overview of the rules and what's expected of them. And so I can get to know them, okay? So tomorrow I'll have 4 kids, you know, and the day after that I'm gonna have 4 more kids. Now, which means I'm going to be teaching the same lesson every day. So, tomorrow I'm going to teach the kids. Oh, I'm going to teach them how to, use the classroom, not use the bathroom, but like where the bathroom is in the classroom, how to wash their hands, even though our sink doesn't work. None of the sinks on the kindergarten hallway works. Oh, well, it's gotta be like a health issue, like a serious health safety issue. But hey, none of the kindergarten hall sink works. So none of the kids will be washing their hands apparently. So if little Jimmy picks his nose, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do about that because our sink doesn't work. No one else's does either. So they'll teach them where to go to the bathroom, teach them how to sit on the carpet, how to clip their name tag on, and then we assess. We test. So those 4 kids, I'm gonna be like, here's an activity to do. Go do your activity, and while they're working, I'll constantly pull them to my table so I can test if they know their numbers. I test if they know their letters. I test if they know basic skills like rhyming or like sounds like, oh, the word snake starts with the s, So I test. That's what I'm doing all day tomorrow. So I promise you guys I'll have so much tea to share with you guys by next week after I meet with all my kids and I test them. I'm gonna be like, all right, guys, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be like, listen, this school year ain't looking good, or I'm gonna be like, wow, this school year is gonna be great. Kind of was doom scrolling here and stumbled late into the classroom. Seems pretty colorful. What is it y'all do here? I'm a kindergarten teacher, so I'm telling y'all about how I'm telling people about how school starts tomorrow. And I'm really going on what I'm be doing, what I will be doing tomorrow and the week after that. So I have a question, but it might be a very obvious question. What are your thoughts on teaching grades other than kindergarten? When I did student teaching before I was an actual teacher, I student taught 1st grade. And I like it. I don't think I would go above 1st grade though. I think kindergarten and 1st grade is where I belong, mostly because, hey, Army, I'm very soft-spoken. I'm a lot more on the softer side. I have a feeling the older kids will eat me alive. Like they'd yell at me, they'd curse me out, and I'd be in the corner crying. Like, I don't want to teach 2nd grade because 2nd grade is when the kids start getting sassy. 2nd grade is when kids start really feeling themselves and they start talking back a lot more and they start being a lot more verbally aggressive. So I like to avoid that. I like kindergarten because they're very, I guess you could say, very innocent. Like they're not going to say they're mostly not going to say things out of pure malice. Like if they say something negative, it's because they didn't realize it was negative or they just didn't really think about what they said, not because they wanted to hurt your feelings, type of thing. But when them older kids start speaking, they speak to hurt your feelings. They are out for blood and it's scary. I like teaching kindergarten. I would teach first if I was told to teach 1st grade, I would. But anything above 1st grade, oh no. You just started college. Have fun. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a fun college. I have a hard time saying the R sound. I speak English and Spanish is hard for me. Oh, I can never roll my R's in Spanish. Even though I took literally like 7 years of Spanish classes when I was in high school and middle school. Reading a slice of life thinking about a family right now, and I blue screened when I heard rotate kids because I was like, what do you mean a family rotates kids? That's a fun time to blue screen, isn't it? Actually, though, science, junior and seniors are actually pretty decent to teach. What are juniors and seniors? 11th and 12th graders. That's what they call the 11th and 12th graders. You're in 8th grade and you're passing your classes? Yeah, good job. Good job. Do super good in school. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of you guys for doing good grades. I wish I could implement some sort of like stream reward system for those who tell me that they got good grades. Be like, oh, you got good grades here. I do wish I could go back to my younger years sometimes. Are your followers technically students if you're a teacher? Yeah, you guys are my pupils. Get it? It's the word pupils. But instead of pronouncing it pupils, I pronounce it pupples. Get it? You guys are pupples. Pupple, yeah, channel points for report cards. I wish I could give y'all actual stickers. I wish I could mail y'all stickers. I do. I'm like, oh, you guys did a good job. It's okay, sticker. The star sticker is coming in the mail. Yeah, you're pupples. You're puppy pupples. That doesn't mean we get nap breaks. No, there's no nap breaks in kindergarten. Kindergartners do not get nap time. I'm sorry to tell y'all. They took that out of school years ago. There's no nap time no more. No nap time. We get brain breaks. Pupples, this is good lord. What? You don't like Pupples? I like Pupples. I think it's cute. Like puff balls almost, but you're Pupples. Yeah, no, there's no nap time for kindergarten. I hate to tell you that. Why do they take out nap time? Because schooling is no longer developmentally appropriate. Is the best way to put it. They're not treating kindergartners like they're 5. They're trying to treat kindergartners like they're 8 years old or something, and it's kind of a problem. Hi, Vindied! It is kind of a problem. Because kids need nap times. Kindergarten, I think they need nap time. But, you know, kindergarten is the new first grade. We got the kindergartners learning about 2D and 3D shapes. You know, I'm teaching them what a sphere and cylinders and cones are. I'm teaching them how to read words and how to write full sentences, you know. Teach them how to read and write sentences and full words and stuff. And some of the material that they got is kind of complicated, so it's a little. We learn how to count to 100 and skip count by 10s and count by 5. It's a lot. It's a lot for 5-year-olds. They should give nap times in high school. I feel like every grade should have, not necessarily a nap time, but I feel like every grade should have some sort of break in the middle of the day. Not just like lunch and recess, because that doesn't count. I feel like they should just have like a quiet time, like a I don't know, like maybe the quiet time. I feel like, you know, where you sit down and you can read, put your head down, do something. It helps reset the brain. Toddlers do get free will. I do wish I could return. Proud to be a eager little gal, but hey, what can you do? I don't think if I could go back in time and be a kid, I don't think I would want to. I do enjoy the freedom that being an adult gets, because I have financial freedom, so I can like choose to buy things if I want to. That's one thing I hated growing up as a kid. Aw, thank you for the bitty bit, Zorka. Your mom's a teacher as well? Oh, that's pretty cool. What kind of teacher? What does she teach? Where do I sign up to join the class? You join by following, I guess. Then you'll chilly be a pupple. But yeah, I would not be a kid if I could go back in time. Like, just seeing how these like kids just get bossed around all day in school, like I do not want to experience that again. And I'm the teacher, I'm the one doing all the bossing around, you know what I mean? Like I don't think I'd want to boss anybody around anymore. Then consider me enrolled. Did you follow? I realized last stream my follow alerts weren't working, so I don't know if you followed or not. I guess they're still not working. If you did. I wonder what that's about, because last time I streamed and I played Kirby with the girls, I ended stream and it said at the end of stream it said I had gained 6 followers while we were playing, and I got 0 alerts, nor did I get any notifications in my activity feed. So I don't know if Twitch is gaslighting me and saying that people followed and they didn't, or if people are following and not getting alerted. I don't know. But like, welcome if you join. Like, welcome. She teaches special ed. Oh, a trooper. She's a trooper. Special ed's a very hard group to teach, but I'm sure it's very rewarding. Like, kindergarten is also very difficult. A lot of teachers will say they don't want to teach kindergarten, but very rewarding. Benefits of doom scrolling? Yeah. 2 more years of high school and then I can go to trade school. Yeah! High school would be like when a student crashes, and then because they're so strict, they'd be like, sir, do you scream at me? Go to the office now, I call security. Oh, yeah, the security thing is a big thing too. I wish I could tell I wish I could tell my 5-year-olds I call security on them. Some of them need it, low-key. I mean, I've had kids. I had a kid 2 years ago used to threaten me. He literally threatened my life multiple times. Then he threatened the entire school, so we had to do like multiple like threat assessments, which means like he said something like so insane that he was not allowed to go home until they assessed him and determined that he was not what's the word? They assessed him and determined that he was not a danger and he was allowed to go home. Like, it was pretty bad. Stop leaving empty cans on the job site. Yeah, why are you leaving them there? What you leaving them there for? But yeah, next week's gonna be interesting. I had open house. Not next week, sorry, this week. School starts tomorrow. I say my kiddos tomorrow. I had open house already. Normally in the past, right, at my school, open house is different because I know y'all know when you have an open house, like you meet the teacher presents herself, the teacher's like, oh, my name is Cyan and I'm still excited to meet you guys. A little about myself, here's some basic stuff like that. At my school, open house has always been, hey Sammy, has always been, oh, okay, let's sign some papers. Come on into my class. Hi guys, I'm Miss Cyan. Now come sit down and sign some paper. Like that's how it always was. Like literally open house was come find your classroom and sign some papers. And they would literally be in that room for an hour and a half signing like 10 different papers front and back. It was so bad. Like we would hand them massive packets and they would just sit in the classroom and sign papers while their kids went crazy. Like, but this year, everything's moving to online. So this year, the parents have already filled out the form online over the summer. So it's not a problem. So it wasn't a problem anymore, which is good. Which means, because usually, right, when the parents had to sit down and they had to sit in that room for an hour and a half and sign papers, guess what? The kids get hyperactive. They get really excited. They're in a new room full of cool, colorful things with a bunch of other kids. And they usually start absolutely destroying the place. Like, they will pull stuff out of drawers, out of your bookshelves, and they'll just start opening stuff, going through all your stuff, throwing things across the room, playing rough with the other kids. Like, it's usually a nightmare. But because this year I just had them fill out one paper and it was actually like a meet the teacher type of open house instead of a sign all these papers open house, it wasn't as bad. That, and also I plastic wrapped all of my bookshelves so that the kids would not be able to take the stuff off the bookshelves. Yep, there was a large barrier of plastic between everything that they could have access to in them bookshelves. Yep, because I was like, y'all not messing up my stuff, my room this year. Y'all not messing up my room this year. So I left, because during the summer we had to plastic wrap the bookshelves anyways, because it makes it easy for the custodians to move it out of the classroom so they can clean the classroom fully during the summer. So I just simply didn't take the plastic wrap off. I left it up there. And best decision, man. Best decision of my life. Because since it was all plastic wrapped, the kids could not access all the big blocks and toys and stuff they weren't supposed to have. Good time. I did get to meet a lot of my kids. Currently, I only have 14 kids on my roster. I say 10 of them came, 11 of them came. I only have 14 kids. But that's because kindergarten, like the parents are still enrolling. So I promise you by the end of the year, I'll have 18 to 19. It's like that every year. You always start off with like 13 or 14, and then by the end, you'll have 18 or 19. And I got to meet a few of them. I had a kid that was special needs. Are you leaving? Oh, bye. Bye, Zodik. Bye-bye. I do have a kid that's special needs. They pulled out the big old document during open house, and she said, I just wanted you to be aware of this. And I actually really appreciated that, because most parents don't do that. They'll just start school and you're like, surprise, my kid has this thing going on. Surprise. She literally pulled out like the big old documentation packet, like that, like details like what the disability is, not necessarily what the disability is, but what the accommodations are and what they struggle with. And I was like, I appreciate that. I had another kid whose parents said that they think she's special needs. They think she has autism, and they're currently getting her tested for it. And she's not potty trained, which you'd be surprised how common that is in kindergarten for kids to not be potty trained by the time they reach the age of 5. Which when I first started teaching, I thought that was the craziest concept, that like a 5-year-old, 5-year-olds, they're like starting to be a little independent, like at 5. That a lot of 5-year-olds aren't potty trained, but no, that's a common thing. Apparently kids aren't required to be potty trained when entering public school. It's not necessarily a requirement, at least not in my area. So it's kind of a problem. Hi Early, how are you? What do you think about a joker, kids who makes jokes or don't take you seriously or bluff to get some laughs. I want to say, because you know, things look a lot different at the age of 5 than they look in other grades. I haven't had a kid that like was just like constantly disrespectful and like talking over you because they think it's funny type of things. You do have some kids who just don't care about anything. Your birthday's in 6 days. Oh my god, happy early birthday. You do get kids who don't care about anything and they'll just laugh about anything and everything, but I haven't had any class clown types. Because class clown in kindergarten usually means they act like a class clown in a smaller group setting. So they'll joke around at the tables and stuff. But when we're doing like a whole group thing, like they're all sitting on the carpet and I'm reading a story or something, that class clown is not going to be a class clown in front of everybody. Just in front of just when he goes back to his table to get his work done. You know what I mean? But also because I run a tight ship when it comes to whole group stuff. Kindergarten punishments for kindergarten really makes them feel bad. If a kid decides they want to be a class clown on the carpet while I'm teaching, I simply kick them off the carpet. I say, okay, well, if you want to be haha funny, get off the carpet and go sit at your desk. And for a lot of kids, having to sit at the desk while everyone else is on the carpet is like the most terrible, worst thing you could possibly do. Like it's like that is like the end all thing. Like they will be so upset. so class clowns like that are really easy to get rid of because you're like, oh, you think that's funny? Get off my carpet. And then they'll go cry at their table by themselves. I don't know. I feel like class clown behaviors, while they do exist in kindergarten, they're a little different. Like they're just a little different. Oh my gosh, your birthday's in 9 days. 17, you dread it? Nah, don't dread it. You almost made it. You almost made it. You're almost done with high school and such. You know, I dread it. When I was in high school, I was really emo. And I was depressed and I was super anxious. So I really dreaded the idea of going off to college because I was like, there's nothing for me. What am I to do? I'm not good at anything. And I was just so like depreciating. Is that the word? Self-depreciating. I was just an emo girly. I was so mean to myself. And you know what? I was like, I can't go to college. College is such a scary concept. And then I got to college and it was the best thing ever for me. I got to college and I realized that the reason I was so like emo and depressed, it wasn't because like, it was because of the people I hung around. So when I got to college and it was a fresh start with people I didn't know, I got to make all new kinds of friends. I got to be a part of the marching band there. You know, I played trumpet. I got to be a part of the marching band there, and I got to have a lot more freedom. I could buy my own snacks. I could go wherever I wanted to go. Suddenly, I started feeling a lot better really fast. And I won't say it wasn't my parents' fault. I love my parents. I'm not gonna be like, oh, my parents had me depressed. That's not it. I just had a very bad friend system when I was in high school, and they had said a lot of things that made me really unhappy. Which means, by extension, just being at my house and being like in my bedroom and stuff just reminded me of all those unhappy like memories I had from high school. So when I finally got away from it and went to college, man, I felt so much happier. I was such a happy girl at college, man. Like, I was a teenager. I dreaded turning 18 because I dreaded going to college. And I was like, I can't go to college. I'm gonna hate it so much. And then I went to college and it was the best thing ever. I loved college. My favorite age, I think the most fun I ever had was when I was 19. That was the absolute most fun because I was I thought like I would have been like a freshman / sophomore. I guess it depends on where it was in the year. Freshman or sophomore in college, and it was just so fun. It was just so much fun. You know, I was just talking to people all the time. I was playing video games with my friends. I was hanging out in the rooms all the time. I was ordering pizza every other week. I was going to Walmart and buying as many snacks as I possibly could. And I'm a little nerd, so no, I wasn't partying or anything. I just was talking to people who seemed to enjoy my presence. Like it was just a good time. I don't know. Also, fun fact, I have a hard time speaking with long words. I can say it good in my mind, but I can't say it good when I said it. That's why I use simple words when my teachers sometimes get mad at me. I don't know why they get mad at you for using simple words. That's an odd thing to get mad at somebody for. I use simple words, but that's because I'm a 13 up streamer. So I keep things simple. Being the age I am and the crew I hang out, I keep forgetting that the internet be for everyone. It's really throwing me off hearing we do go grade schoolers here. Yes, since my community is 13 and up, the age of 13 does start at 7th grade. So some people are in middle school because they're in 7th or 8th grade. So it was really odd initially when my channel first started growing. And I officially made my channel 13 up. But you get kind of used to it. Yeah, I got a big blend of people in the chat. I feel like everyone does, especially considering how my years have gone with finding myself. Yeah, that's why I just, like I said before, I would not want to go into past and be a kid again. I don't think I would like that. I don't think I would like that. If I could go back in time, I'd go back to my college years. Like I'd go back to when I was 19 or 20, for example. I would not go back any further than that, because when you're a kid, everyone's just telling you what to do all the time. I even get tired of it as an adult sometimes. My parents, they might come to visit and my parents be like, do this and do that and do this and do that, you know. Like, and I don't even live with them anymore, but every now and then they start bossing me around. I'm like, oh, I just don't know how I dealt with that like my entire life. Like, how do you deal with like 18 years of like everyone telling you what to do 24/7, man? Like, I love the freedom I have as an adult. And I guess my situation's also different too, because I do have a lot of financial stability currently. So my situation's a lot different because of that financial stability. I get to do more fun things, you know, like I've gone to Japan back in I went to Japan in April for my honeymoon. You know, I got married in December. You sound like you're at least 18 or 19. Oh, that's okay. I get mistaken for a teenager a lot. I'm in my mid-20s, believe it or not. I just have a higher pitched voice, and that tends to throw people off. Not only do I have a higher pitched voice, but I also kind of have a baby face. So like, I don't think anyone will ever look at me, and not how I look and sound currently, and be like, oh, she looks like she's in her 20s. No, that's okay. It's something I've gotten used to. Because even when I was a teenager, they thought I was a kid. Like when I was like 16, I would get mistaken for like 10 years old. And it just carried on. Now I'm in my mid-20s and I get mistaken for a teenager all the time. So, hey, my middle school teachers be yelling the whole time to 6th graders. And they say, class, you made my throat sore. You the one yelling. See, this year, I don't want to raise my voice too much. So I actually have a speaker headset. You attach the little speaker to you, and then you put a little headset on your head, and that way you can project without having to, you know, project. I don't want that. You're lucky then. I've been mistaken for older than I am. Whoa. Cyan as a nickname. What do we call you? I normally default to boss, but would teach work or just Cyan? You can call me Cyan. You can call me teacher. Most of my students are Hispanic, right? A lot of my students speak Spanish only when they come into the school year, and I kind of teach them English as the year goes on. So I get called maestra a lot, which means teacher in Spanish. I've noticed that the Hispanic kids, they don't call you by your name. They just call you maestra. They won't say Miss Cyan. They'll say maestra. They don't say Senora Cyan either. They'll just say maestra, you know? That's what they do. So you can call me that. It's really funny because I name myself. I put teacher Cyan sometimes, but put teacher Cyan down sometimes, but maestra Cyan sounds a lot more familiar to me than being called teacher or being called sensei, for example. Maestra. Maestra is the name I get called the most. Hi, Chaku. Are you ready for tomorrow? No, I'm not ready for tomorrow. Well, okay, today was an optional teacher work day, so I did come today at the school and printed a lot of stuff, but there's still some stuff I don't have ready. For example, transportation tags. We had to tag every kid's book bag saying how they'll get home. It has their full name on it. It has the name of our school. It has how they'll get home. That way, if they ever get lost, they know to call up my school and they know who the teacher is and all that stuff. Because we have had instances where kids have gotten lost and those tags on their book bag have saved them. That happened last year, actually. I had a kid. This happened from a kid in my class. And thank God I had that tag on their book bag like I'm supposed to, or else we would have been having a whole different story. Last year, I had a kid who was nonverbal. She babbles. So if you said, "Oh, hey, what's your name?" She'll go, you know, she just babbles. That's what she does. She's a little kitty. But she's also developmentally delayed, right? So she tested to be around 2 years old mentally, despite being 5. So that means she struggled with everything. She struggled with following directions. She struggled with holding pencils, crayons, doing any of the work that we were trying to do in the class. I could not get her to do because she just could not understand a single thing. That's important because this kid got on the bus, right? It wasn't even like the first day of school either. This was like probably like second week of school. She got on the bus and the bus driver, she was on the right bus, right? She was on the wrong one. She was on the right bus, but the bus driver had let her out on the wrong stop. So what happened was the bus driver opened the door for the kids to get off the bus, and my baby being developmentally delayed, so she's not really knowing what's going on, she saw a bunch of kids get up to go walk off the bus to go to their homes. So she said, "Oh, well, they're getting up. I probably got to get up too." So she stood up and she walked off the bus. The bus driver shut the door and she drove away. This kid, mind you, was not supposed to be at that bus stop. Her stop was like a few stops down. So this baby, developmentally delayed, does not know what's going on. Is now wandering around outside in a random neighborhood that she does not like live in. And what saved her was that she was wandering around until the owner of the apartments found her. "Hey, Fancy, it's been a while. Hey." The owner of the apartment found her wandering around, and that transportation tag I had on her book bag that had her name, my name, the name of the schools, what bus she rides on, etc. The apartment owner looked at that tag and they knew to call my school up so that they could get her where she needed to go. So that is the one thing I haven't done yet. I haven't made those tags. I plan on making those tags tomorrow, but that is one thing I cannot forget, because can you imagine how much trouble I would have gotten into, like, and how bad that situation could have gone if I had not put that tag on her book bag with all that information on it. Phew! Like, that was a scary situation. Those parents were fed up though, because that wasn't the first time they had a crazy incident with their kid, with someone around them being neglectful, and their kid ending up in the situation they shouldn't have when they were like developmentally delayed. So don't bonk me, Fancy. It's been so long. What happened to the bus driver? The bus driver got fired. The parents demanded to sit down in a meeting with said bus driver. Meeting was granted. They all sat down. They had a long conversation and they got fired. So it was a lot. Do you want us to call you Maestra? If you would like to call me Maestra. My students call me Maestra when they call me teacher or, you know, sensei. So it's more common for me. Feels a bit disrespectful calling you by your name. I will probably start to Miss Cyan or Teach. You can do that. I've always felt like an oddball. Oh, bye Arle. Bye Arle. I don't know why I try to say your full name. I never do. Bye Arle. I have always felt like an oddball. The kid who could never really work with anyone. I'm glad I had dropped by. Wait, are you leaving? Are you leaving? I don't know why I feel like an oddball. You're not odd. You're pretty cool. Yeah? Yeah? Cyan, can we make a bet? What we betting on? What we betting on? What we betting on? What we betting on? Just call me Arlie. Yeah, I've been calling you Arlie. I don't know why I randomly try to say your full name. I never do that for a reason. Because your name kind of long. Kind of a little bit long. I did only Doomstroll. Are you dismissing me? No, I'm not dismissing you. I thought you were dismissing yourself. You can dismiss yourself though if you want to go somewhere. Go do something. I'm not gonna hold you hostage in my chat. That'd be a little crazy of me, wouldn't it? I'm not a little psychopath. I'm just a teacher dog. And I'd hope that a teacher dog would not be a psychopath. I'd hope that a teacher dog would be normal and very much so understanding. Yeah. But I took care of most things today. The only thing I gotta do tomorrow, which can be done. I only have 4 kids coming tomorrow, so really the only I gotta do is make the transportation tags. Once I figure out exactly how the kids are going home, a lot of parents said that they want their kids to ride a bus, but a lot of times parents during open house say, I want my kid to ride the bus home, and then they don't sign up for the bus. And then they don't sign up for the bus, so I can't put them on the bus. So we'll see what happens. Pretty much all of my kids, except for like 4 of them, said they were going to be bus riders. So we'll see. If I ever be the first one to be to your streams 2 weeks, I should get a shout out. If you win, I will say very, very nice words to you. Sure. I'm not a psychopath, she says, having said to numb the ankles and not the wrist to maintain petting. And wow, what? Stop listening to me when I talk. You can't prove I said that. You can't prove I said that. I need water. Your girl has a tingle in the throat. Oh, that's some good water. Sometimes I'll be dehydrating myself and I don't even be realizing it. The other day, my throat was hurting pretty bad. And then I realized I hadn't drinking water in like 2 days. And I was like, you know, I might be dying. I haven't drinking water in 2 days. I might be dying. Who knows? But tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow it starts. I will probably be giving you random updates in the Discord as I normally do. But tomorrow is going to be a little stressful of a time, to be honest. Well, I guess staggered entry isn't too stressful. The first day is. After the first day, you literally just teach the same lesson every day with different set of kids. Well, except there's always one parent that sends their kids to school every single day at staggered entry, meaning that kid comes to school and does the same activities every single day for the entire week. It really sucks for those kids when the parents go, well, school's in session, so watch my kid. You know, they treat school like a daycare, so... Because they know about staggered entry because we explain it to them. And if they keep dropping their kid off over and over again, we keep explaining to them, hey, stop doing that. But they do it anyways. And then their kid's miserable because their kid's literally doing the same activities every single day. And it's miserable for them. And it's miserable for me because they start getting antsy since they're here every day. I got cut in the mouth by a Dorito? Oh, I'm sorry. It must have been a really sharp Dorito. And it would feel a little weird if it was a hostage situation. Oh, welcome to Puppy Academy, Kobe. Oh, hostage situation, especially with the teacher-student basis. Mrs. Cyan, mind if I watch your tail wagging? Didn't want to sound weird by saying hair and brushing hair. Sure, my tail wags. It cut from happy, that's why. Hey, Kirby, how are you? How are you? Anyways, I wanted to do a Just Chatting stream a while ago. So I wrote a million notes down on what I wanted to talk about. But this was when like 2 weeks ago when I was doing my kindergarten classroom fundraiser. So I'm probably just going to continue talking about what I wanted to talk about for my fundraiser. Oh, speaking of, that means my Be Right Back screen is not updated. Whoopsie, I haven't streamed in so long. I forgot to change my Be Right Back back screen to the normal screen. So now it's still saying, my Be Right Back screen still says, hey guys, I'm raising funds for a classroom. Whoopsie guys, forgot to change it. My B. I start in 2 minutes though, so you're gonna see that really outdated screen because I forgot to change it. Quick survey? What kind of survey? Won't get dizzy? Me promise? Okay, no dizzy. Do you also get distracted by your own classroom? What do you mean by that? Kids can be very... If you're talking about like Like, do I lose like track of what I'm doing and stuff? Kids can be very distracting. So sometimes a kid, sorry, not sometimes, all the times the kids will distract you because you have 18 5-year-olds and they have a lot of questions and a lot of comments, and they're usually very random. Very, very random. So I do lose my train of thought a lot. I also lose papers a ton because I'll be helping out a kid. I'll be holding like some papers in my hand, right? And then a kid will call for me and I'll be like, yes, what do you need? And then I'll walk over to the kid and I'll set my papers down at their desk. And then when I'm done helping them, I'll forget to pick them back up. Or sometimes I'll set my papers down where I'm at and then go help the kid. And that means even if I'm in like the back of the room by like the storage closet or something, I'll set the papers in the storage closet and then go help the kid. It's so awkward. It's so bad. It's so bad. Do you guys go outside to play? Of course. Yeah, we have outdoor recess. We have 4 playgrounds. They're very tiny. My school has 4 very tiny playgrounds so that not every class is on one playground at a time. They're really, when I say they're tiny, they're really tiny. They're really, no swings. We have no swing, by the way. So, whoopsie. Hotline Miami? What is that? What's Hotline in Miami? I'm the autistic kind of kid. That's okay. Right here with y'all. I'm not the kids that's distracting me. They are distracted. Do you like playing tag with them? No. I cannot play with them during recess. My job is to watch them to make sure they don't get hurt. And if they do get hurt, I'm right there to write a report about it, contact the parents if I need to, and if a really bad incident happens, to call the principal or even 911. So no, you can't really play with your kids. Your job is to make sure they don't beat each other up, and they will try, trust, because they're 5 and they freak out. They freak out all the time. Oh my gosh. Hello, Franco. How are you? Hi, Franco. How are you? Can you, Miss Cyan, can me get crayons to draw a picture? Yeah, of course you can draw with some crayons. Well, I always teach my students to draw with pencil first and then color with crayon. You can draw with pencil first. We don't draw with crayons in my class. You know why? Because you can't erase crayons and kids make mistakes, and when they make mistakes, they get mad. They get mad, and that's why I'd be like in the background, like, I told you to draw with pencils, but you decided you wanted to draw with crayons instead, and now you're angry. Hi, ma'am. Miami is a game. You definitely shouldn't play on this channel. Really? It's a game. Oh, I didn't know that. What's the worst incident that happened to a student in your class? The worst incident? I guess it depends on what worst is, and like what do you consider to be worst. My first month of teaching, I just became a teacher. I was so nervous to start my class, and a month in, by Ice-Tune, a month in, I did have a kid stick a paperclip in the outlets in the walls. It's why my classroom is the only classroom that has outlet covers over every outlet, because my first year I literally had a kid who got, I was passing out papers and he picked up the paper clip that I had like just taken off the papers. He bent it so that it was like a straight little pokey line, and he literally just went over to the nearest outlet and stuck it in there. That's what he did. And he burnt his finger, and there was literally smoke coming out of the outlet, and I was so concerned. I didn't know what happened because all of a sudden the kid starts yelling. He's like, ah, ah, ah. And this kid was, he was one of my special needs kids too. So he couldn't really communicate what was wrong because he hardly had trouble. He did not make sense if you talked to him. Like, I'd be like, it's sunny outside. And he'd be like, I like snowflakes. I'm going to build a snowman. Like, that's how he talked, right? Whatever you said was loosely related to what he said next. So he was like, he ran to the sink and started running his hand in the sink. And I was like, what? What's the matter? What's the matter? What's the wrong? And I was trying to look at his hand under the sink, and it was bad. He got a little burnt on his finger. It wasn't really, it could have been a lot worse, but he did get a little burn on his finger. I had to keep all of my students away from that corner of the room. I had to rush him down to the nurse's office, call his mom. He got into a lot of trouble though. His mom was so stressed out. She was like, I'm afraid. His mom literally said to me that she was afraid that she was going to get a call saying that he was in the hospital or something. Like, because he had so many instances at school where he was hurting himself. Because he was the type of kid who would hurt himself and not learn from it. Stick a paper clip in the outlet, you'd catch him trying to do it again. Type of thing, you know? Oh, he stood up. He climbed on top of the desk and fell off the desk and got a big old bump on his head. Guess what he's doing tomorrow? Climbing the desk again. So this mom was like super concerned, and it was a lot. There is a level of bravery to your job that needs to be recognized. I guess so. It's kind of scary sometimes. Me no care if my picture looks bad. That's okay. Can I have some crayons? I'm hungry. Yeah, I had a kid eat crayons last year, so I mean, it ain't that crazy of a concept. How do you deal with special need kids? It depends on what their disability is. Are they pretty much, you just have to change how you teach things for them. So like some kids who are developmentally delayed, for example, have trouble with fine motor skills. So they have trouble with like holding a pencil and like moving the pencil around to like actually write letters and stuff. So while the other kids are like freehanding stuff, I'll just go over everything in a highlighter and they have to trace what I write type of thing. Or it really depends on what the disability is, because there's so many. Like, is it a learning disability? Are they developmentally delayed? Is it autism? A lot of times you don't have to do anything if it's autism, unless it's like a severe scale of autism. But a lot of times the autistic kids, a lot of times they need more emotional support than physical support. You know, like helping calm them down when like things get like a little overwhelming or stressful. Whereas I feel like the other kids, when they have like special needs, they need a lot more help, like physically, like with holding paper, pencils and stuff. Anyways, guys, there's going to be a 3-minute ad break and I need to go to the bathroom. Hi, friends. So, I will see you in 3 minutes. Also, ignore the be right back screen. I forgot to change it from when we did our classroom-a-thon. Pretend like it's not saying that we raised X amount of money. Pretend like it's normal. Ha. stuff off my throne wish list. We're not doing the donathon anymore, silly. But thank you, I appreciate it. They put the magnifying glass. The magnifying glass for the kiddos for science class. Thank you. Oh, hi, Jake. You're lucky you go back to school tomorrow. I start the 12th. Sorry, the 12th. But I'm the teacher. I don't go. I mean, I've been at work since last week. I'm the teacher. So school starts tomorrow, but I've been working since last week. But thanks, Prez. I appreciate it. The kids are gonna have fun with their magnifying glasses for science time. Maestra, yes, Sammy. What is it? Is mayonnaise an instrument? No. Well, technically, yes. Anything's an instrument if you put your spirit, if you put spirit into it, you know. Good luck with your class tomorrow. Thank you. I promise you guys, I will tell you all about how this week goes next week. All right, I'm gonna do a just chatting stream, probably gonna be on Monday of next week as well, and I will give you all the complete rundown of everything. Okay, I always keep y'all in the loop of how my class goes. Do I got crazy kids or are they nice and sweet? Based on open house, they're nice and sweet. So. I didn't have any kids going kind of crazy. I did have one who was like fighting against his mother, and the mom was like, "Okay, it's time to go." We'll call him Billy, right? I'm like, "Oh, little Billy, it's time to go." And Billy was like, "No, but I want to stay here. I don't want to leave." And the mom was like, "Come on, Billy, we got to leave." And he was like, "No, I want to stay in the classroom." And then he ran in the classroom away from his mom, and the mom ran in the classroom with him. And was crossing his arms, and he was like, "I don't want to leave." And she said, "We got to go." And she grabbed him by the arm and tried to pull him out the class. And then he immediately ran back in. So you know what that means? That means that's going to be my problem when school starts. Because if the kid starts pulling on the parent and ignoring the parent in front of everybody like that, then you know full well when school starts, he's going to be doing that to me as well. He's going to try to run away. But I want this. Hump. You always got kids that test it on the first day of school because kindergarten it's kind of difficult in the beginning. Kindergarten is very hard in the beginning. It's why I don't typically stream a lot in the month of September, because the first month of kindergarten, a lot of these kids are a product of their parents. Like they're 100% a product of parenting because they've never been to school anymore before. A lot of them have never been to daycares, have never been to pre-K, so they don't know what rules are and how to follow it, which can be a nightmare because some parents just have these kids run all over them at home, and then they try to get in the classroom and they try to run all over you. And then when you don't feed into that, because I most certainly don't, they throw the biggest fit. They be having tantrums on the floor, crying all out, rolling over and stuff. And I'd be like, dude, get up. Get up. I don't play that. So have you watched the movie Up? Yeah, actually. We actually played the movie Up for my kindergartners last year at the end of the year. Once all of the testing for the year was done and my kids, we weren't really teaching much anymore, mostly just packing up classrooms and hanging out. We watched the movie Up. I liked the movie Up. It was one of my childhood favorites. The kids, though, some were interested and a lot were not. But that's also just this generation. A lot of kids aren't really into movies unless they're the very flashy movies, like the Mario movies, for example. Those, like the Mario Galaxy movie, was very flashy, constantly showing different scenes every 5 seconds, you know, a lot of colors. If it's not like super flashy, then they're not into it. So, oh well. EP, you want a flashy? That's okay. All right, I'm going to talk about what I wanted to talk about 2 weeks ago when I was doing my fundraiser. I wanted to do a stream where I reflected on being a teacher and what it's like and what I wish I could tell people, what I wish people knew about teachers and stuff. So I wrote down all these notes because I wanted to talk about it last week so bad. And then I lost access to my computer for a whole week, which is why I went and which is why I did the fundraiser and immediately went like off the grid for a week, dude. I lost access to my PC because we had my dad said, "Surprise! I'm sending someone to your house to fix the walls, but that means you gotta get literally everything out of that room tomorrow." So I had to get everything out of the room, and the room that the wall needed to be fixed in was, you know, is the room I stream in. So For until that space got fixed, which took literally a whole week, I had no PC. My PC was in a corner, in a room, in a completely different room. I had no access to it. I missed your stream because I was in school. That's valid. That's valid. I hope you enjoy. I hope you're enjoying your school stuffs. I hope it's a good year so far. But what I wish, I don't remember. I'm gonna preface before I start. I don't remember what I wrote last week. 2 weeks ago when I did this, so we'll see what I wrote. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna be skimming what I wrote right here. Hi Unicorn, how are you? Math 2 is hard. That's valid. That's valid. I always felt like I did better in math than reading, but that wasn't always. Oh, you're great. That's good. What I wish people knew about kindergarten teachers. Let's see what I wrote, y'all. Oh, the first thing I wrote was how overstimulating the job is. Yeah, I wish people understood how overstimulating the job is, you know. It's a very tiring job, but it's not tiring in the traditional sense, you know. When people think of like tiring jobs, they think of being tired because they're staring at a computer all day. You know, the office job people, they're like, oh, I'm so tired because I had to stare at a computer all day and use my brain all day. That's one type of tired. You know, people who do physical labor jobs, you know, that's a different kind of tired. Your body's tired when you do those. But when you're a teacher, you get a different kind of tired. You're both mentally and physically tired. You're mentally tired because a bunch of kids are talking over you at all the time. You're constantly hearing a million different voices. A million different kids are asking you a million different questions. You don't know where to look, what to do. You don't know where to look, where to go, who to respond to first sometimes. It can be a nightmare. But you're also physically tired because you're running up and down that school all day long, dude. And in the beginning, you might be chasing after kids because every now and then we get a runner. That's what we call him. Say, you got a runner. I got a runner, guy. Be looking out for this kid because he's a runner. You know, that's what we call them. The kids who are very prone to, oh my gosh, I don't want to be in here anymore. And they just run down the hallway. It's silly to talk about, but you'd be surprised how many kids are runners. How many kids just absolutely run out that door and sprint down the hallway. Like it's pretty up there. There's a lot of kids who do that. So sometimes your first week of school is you chasing after kids to make sure they don't run anywhere crazy. So what's your favorite kind of student? Any kid that's nice and listens, you know, any kid that is nice and listens. They raise their hand, they answer questions, they're kind to others, so I can trust them to do literally anything. I can trust them to go in the hallway, to go to the front office for me. I can trust them to do any task for me, and I know they're going to do a good job. That's the type of student I like. A lot of first day of school is last week, but I'm just here to say to have a wonderful day for tomorrow's first day. Oh, thank you. I hope it'll be a good day. I used to run because I didn't want to be in school. Yeah. In kindergarten, the kids don't want to be in school either, right? They've been with their moms and dads all day, every day. And now all of a sudden, their mommy is dropping them off in a strange building full of a bunch of strange people and some other strange kids. And you're just supposed to be okay with it. Lots of tears. Kids were crying left and right. Like in the first week, the first month. Tears, crying, running away, tantrums, crawling on the floor, I'm angry, grr, you know, it's a lot. Does security help you catch them? We don't have securities elementary school. Securities don't really appear until middle and high schools. In elementary school, we have a behavioral guy, which is not really a requirement. We just have him, but he's an old man. He really just talks to the kids when they get in trouble. He ain't running up and down no halls chasing no kids. He had hip surgery like last year. He's an old man. I love our behavioral guy. He's really nice. He reminds me of my dad a lot. So I I think of him as like my school dad, basically, as my work dad. But he ain't chasing no kids. Worst case scenario, because we do have like extensions, which is what they call the special needs kids that have to be displaced to their own separate classroom because of their needs are a lot higher than others. You know, they're the ones with the higher the stronger disability, like the severe levels of autism, for example, or some other things. So worst case scenario, if a kid gets lost, because that does happen, especially with those extension classes, what they do is they'll make an announcement over the intercom, and they'll say, teachers, all teachers, please stand out in the hallway. We are looking for XYZ student. Please stand in the hallway to help us look for XYZ student. That does happen sometimes. That just means a kid got out of the classroom and started running. So every single teacher needs to get in the hallway and find that kid. Well, not find them. We just kind of stand in the hallway, and if they come our way, we'll, you know, try to get them. So, in my elementary, I had security 2 to 4. That's a lot of security. Is your school good? Are y'all okay? Like, we don't need security like that. Well, I feel like it'd be nice to have, considered all things considered. These kids these days are getting a lot more bold than they used to be, but no, we don't have any security. But yeah, I wish people knew how overstimulating the job is. You gotta deal with so many at once. You gotta listen to kids say it's 6, 7. Oh, you know the worst thing about the 6, 7 trend is that you can't ignore that when we have to count. I'm literally teaching kids how to count from 1 to 10, and that's so annoying because look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. Like, you can't avoid it. You literally cannot avoid it in kindergarten because we're learning how to count. Like, we're learning how to count, and I can't just skip a number, you know. So that sucks. That really does suck, but it is what it is. What else did I put on this list? What I wish people knew about kindergarten teacher. Well, that kindergarten is not a daycare, and that they actually learn important things. Oh, yeah, I do wish people would know that. That's a good list, Cyan. Good job for writing this 2 weeks ago. I wish people knew that kindergarten was not a daycare, right? And that they actually learn things. Like, I literally have had parents, multiple parents, when I confronted them about their kids' attendance and how their kids like hardly ever here, the parents were like, why does it matter? It's only kindergarten. They're not learning anything important. They're just playing with blocks all day. And I'm like, no, actually, they're learning how to read. By the end of the year, this kindergarten, your child should know how to read. Like, and if they can't read, then they're behind. Like, we literally teach the kids the alphabet, and we teach them how to put the alphabet together to read basic words by the end. And we teach 3D shapes, like we teach 2D and 3D shapes. Like, we teach kids how to write sentences and how to write properly and stuff. And a lot of people don't realize that. They think kindergarten is like, oh, we drop them off, they go to sleep, they go to sleep in class, they eat their little snacks, and then we count blocks all day while we color. And I'm like, no, we actually teach stuff, by the way. I hope you know that. Have you gotten a letter from a kindergarten kid of yours or a drawing? For you, that does mean a lot. Oh, yes, I get drawing all the time. Letters, well, I had one, my first year, I had one really, really smart kid. And she was reading and writing on a 2nd to 3rd grade level. So it was because her parents had her working. I almost felt bad for her because she was competing with her little sister. So she was in kindergarten, her little sister was in pre-K, and they were both had to write 1-page papers every single night before bed and answer a bunch of math questions. And it was a competition. Like, the parents would pin them against each other and be like, all right, whoever can who can answer the most math questions wins. And it was kind of unfortunate, but that kid wrote me a 1-page paper. Literally, it was a blank white paper, and she wrote from the top to the bottom of that page. In kindergarten, by the way. And she wrote about me. It was called My Teacher. And she wrote everything. She's like, my teacher's hair is blue. My teacher says I'm nice. My teacher, it was really interesting. That I did hold on to. Another thing I got from a kid last year. Last year, I literally started sobbing because it was the last day of school. You know, I was really sad. Hey, Ifer, I was really sad because I cry every year when I have to say goodbye to my kindergartners. I'm just a sentimental girly. So whenever I have to say bye, I start sobbing. And I remember I did okay. You know, I cried for a little bit and I was fine for the most part. And I got home and I remember that one of the parents had given me like a little gift bag. And I was like, oh, let me open up the gift bag. And it was a letter. Not a letter, it was a card that like one of my kids wrote me, and she was like, I love Miss Cyan. She teach me so much. And then she drew a really, really detailed picture of me and her. A picture that's above most kindergartners are capable of. Like, you could really tell she spent so much time on it. And when I tell you, I started absolutely sobbing because I had done a good job holding it together that day. Because, you know, I cry every year when I have to say goodbyes. But I did a good job holding it together. I held it together from start to finish that day. And then I looked at that card and I started absolutely bawling. It was so bad. When I was in kindergarten, they made me learn cursive. That's odd. I learned how to write my name in cursive in 3rd grade, and that was it. So, yeah. And I got married recently, so my last name has changed, and I don't know how to write my new name because I only learned how to write my name in cursive. I never learned the alphabet. So now I have a new name, and I'm like, uh-oh. Uh-oh, I have to sign a document. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. But yeah, I do get... I typically... I get a lot of drawings from kids, meaning a lot of drawings go in the trash. Because you got kids that will draw you a picture every day. And realistically, you can't hold on to every single picture every kid had drawn you every day. But I usually hold on to my favorites from them, right? I usually hold on to 1 or 2 drawings from each kid every year. I have a little folder with just kid drawings in it. So, because I don't want to throw away all of them. Right, I do want to hold on to some of the stuff they made for me as like a keepsake, you know, so I can remember it. But so I can remember them, and I like some of their drawings. But obviously, you can't hold on to 100 drawings from each kid. So, but yeah, what I wish people knew about kindergarten teachers. What else did I write? Oh, about teachers' pay. For some reason, a lot of people think that teachers make a lot more than they actually do. I remember, and I didn't know that was a weird misconception until I made a post last year on TikTok and Instagram, and it was a big post just saying, basically explaining that teachers in America don't get paid during the summer. And that some teachers do have the option to get paid during the summer, but they're not getting paid any more than the rest of us because we are 10-month employees. So we're only getting paid for 10 months. But some school districts allow you to take that 10-month paycheck and spread it out across 12 months. So you get less money each month in exchange for still getting an income during the summer. And I remember that being that one post of me just explaining that teachers don't get paid for the summer and that we're 10-month employees being such a huge topic of contention in my, like, in my, not my community, not my chat, but like in my comments section. Because a lot of people were like, I don't feel bad because teachers on average make 70K. And I was like, 70K? They were like, yo, teachers make 70 to 80K. And you only work for 10 months, dude. I don't feel bad. And I was like, what? People think that we make 70 to 80K? That's so odd. Like, and I realized that people get that number because if you Google like the average pay, it will pop up to that number. But the thing is, that number is really skewed because a lot of teachers are really old. I don't know if you know this, but teachers are typically really old because a lot of the new teachers that come in immediately quit. Like, we're having a weird time. We're in a weird time frame right now where teachers who have been teaching forever are continuing to teach forever, and then new teachers coming in are not staying. So that number is really skewed because you're looking at how much like these 20 and up year employees are making versus like how many like the average teacher, right? If you like Google the same like income thing, you would see that like the average starting salary for beginning teachers is about 40,000. I think it was like 43 last time I checked, which is not a lot. And if you know how the pay scale works for teachers, your pay with each year of teaching experience, your pay increases by only like about $500. So let's say your first year you make 40,000. Your second year you're going to make 40,500. Your third year you're going to make 41,000. Your fourth, it's going to go up by really tiny increments until like after you've worked 20 years, then you can make 70K. But you have to have been working for 20 years, and people don't realize that, so they just Google like what the average is, and they're like, you guys make a lot to not be working for 2 months. And I'm like, no one's making that. The only people who are making that kind of money are the people who have been working for a million years, and have experienced better job markets, to be honest, better economies. All of my teachers are, as a kid, would retire right after we went on to the next grade. Yeah, they're always old, right? Like, most teachers are really old. Like who are we kidding ourselves? Like, most teachers are ancient. That's why when you like look up the average income of a teacher, yeah, because most of the teachers are old. So they're at the top of the income bracket. They've been working for 40 and up years. So they got that 40 and up year paycheck, you know? Experience gets you up. Seriously, those who quit are making bad decisions. Yes and no. Experience gets your income up very slowly. For reference, in other jobs, like let's say you work an office job, right? Let's say you're like a computer sciencey person, or you have like what's another important major right now? I know computer science is a big one. Let's say you're a big office job and you work for a bank. All right, let's say you work for a bank, you work in an office job. Your starting salary is like what, 70 or 80K, right? Whereas teacher starting salary is about 40K. When it comes to office jobs, if you don't get a major raise, or no, not a raise, a major promotions in like 3 years, people will opt and switch jobs. Like you work 70 to 80K and as your office job, and then 3 years later, man, I'm not getting a promotion. These people are wasting my time. And then you'll go find a job somewhere else that's going to pay you a lot more. So now you're going to start applying for jobs, and now these people are going to pay you 95K. Okay, great. And then within 1 year, you get promoted at that new 95K job, and now you're making 100K dollars. Yippee! And now your income has gone up a lot, just within like 3 or 4 years. Whereas teachers, if you want to make like a livable wage by yourself, you have to work for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, yes, your income does go up each year as a teacher, but it's such a small amount. Like a small amount that you had to be working for ages. 3 years, really, it really depends on your major and what kind of jobs you have. I've seen people climb some ladders really quickly. Education sectors are sadly kind of underfunded. I work security in education. Yeah, schools themselves are underfunded. Like, it's not just the teachers. Like, yeah, us teachers don't make a lot, but we're also the schools are also underfunded too. Like, my school's falling apart. I think it's really interesting, right? I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of insight, okay? Because I don't know if you've ever talked to any of your teachers, but I would probably say that most of your teachers, whether they are like old and they're like 50 years old, or they're like young and they're 20, they're probably living in an apartment. And that's a lot of time because they don't make enough to afford a loan to work in a house. They're probably living in an apartment. It's kind of sad. A lot of my teachers when I was in high school used to complain about how they were living in apartments and they were tired of it, and they were like 50 years old. My high school teachers like, man, I'm tired of being in an apartment. I wish I could be in a house. And I'd be like, what? I used to listen to them talk a lot when I was in high school, and I was like, that's crazy. And now I understand why too. Now I really understand why. It's just you don't make enough money to really afford a house by yourself. You'd have to like marry someone who makes a decent amount, and that's the only way to make get a house as a teacher, to be honest. I wish I could go up faster and not do a school. That's so valid. That's so valid. My best time of my life was in college. I loved college so much. I had so much fun in college. I enjoy being an adult too, though. I do enjoy being an adult. I like my job as a teacher. It's really stressful sometimes, but I'd say it's pretty fulfilling. Like, yeah, we don't make a lot, but for me, it's worth it, you know? It's very much so worth it to me. But you really gotta have a passion for teaching to be a teacher. And I feel like I have that passion. Laws be using phones in school is illegal, but not funding for schools and not stopping school. Use phones in the cafeteria or free time at least. Are y'all not allowed to use phones in the cafeteria? I guess if it's a middle school, you wouldn't be allowed to. When it comes to high school, at least at my school, in high school, they didn't really. No one was like there to enforce any rules during lunchtime in high school, but yeah, during middle school and elementary, now we could not use phones at any time of the day. Starting my first day of college tomorrow. Oh my gosh, good luck. Any advice and or encouragement, Cyan? Love your content as always. Oh, I know. You're gonna have a fun time. Make lots of friends. If you're starting from scratch at a college and you don't, like, you're going to a new college and you don't, like, have any friends there because it's a new place, join some sort of club. Join some sort of group or club. It'll make it a lot easier to make friends. And those might be the friends that stick with you all the way to the end. My group was band, so I met a lot of friends through the band. And I talked to all the band in honors college. I was also in honors college, so I knew all the honors college people, and I talked to them a lot. And I knew a lot of the band people, and I talked to them a lot too. To join some sort of group is the easiest way to make friends. But I like college. College was really fun. Also, spread out your schedule. A lot of people go into college like, oh, well, when I was in high school, I used to wake up at like 5 in the morning to catch the bus. So I'm going to schedule all my classes to be early in the morning, so I can mimic what I did in high school since I'm used to it anyways. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. You don't have to do that. Trust. I did that my first year, and then I really hated it. Well, I actually didn't have a choice though, because my major at my school was such a small one that we only had one teacher per class, so we didn't really have an option as to what time you could take what classes most of the time. So because of my major, I was automatically required to take all these 8 and 9 a.m.s. But when I switched majors, I did switch from one education major to a different education major. When I switched to the other education major, then I had a little bit more freedom. It was like, do you want to take the 9 a.m. class or the 11 a.m. class type of freedom, you know? Yeah, and I started taking the later ones. Don't try to take all the early of the morning classes. You're gonna go crazy trying to wake up early all the time. I was thinking of being a teacher before. Yeah. Being a teacher is nice if you like working with kiddos and helping people. If you don't like other people, then don't be a teacher. Sometimes some people become teachers and I'm like, why? You clearly don't like other people, so why are you teaching? I think at my high school I had 4 classes. Yeah. Middle school should not have 9 classes when high school has 6 classes. I guess. I mean, I don't remember much about how many classes I had now that I think about it. I guess we had 6 to 8 classes in high school. I think I had like 7. Yeah. I can't remember though. It feels like it was a million years ago because it kind of was. I'm getting kind of old these days. Like I'm so far removed from like being a student. Like I don't know. Did they teach you fundamentals of instructing in college for being a teacher? Yes. I suppose, yeah, I guess you could say that. A lot of the stuff that we learned in college was about theorists and theories pertaining to child development. I learned a lot about Jean Piaget and Erik Erikson's stages of moral development, and who is the other guy? Vygotsky's zone of proximal development, and Kohlberg's. I think he also had stages of moral development. It was a lot of psychology, to be honest. I'm gonna be real, but I also got. It was also like the difference between like a bachelor's of science and a bachelor's of arts, and I think mine was a bachelor's of art. I can't remember though. It was so long ago, I can't remember. But most of mine was focused more on like the psychology of it. I think it was the type of degree I got. Whereas I feel like if you had the other version of the degree, then it would be more like fundamentals. But no, mine was like mostly theories, studies of the mind. How do kids' brain changes between grades? How how do we make more developmentally appropriate work for kiddos as they transition between said stages type of thing. So we did have to, there was a class where we had to teach a lesson in front of the class. Like we had to, like I had to teach a science lesson to all the college students and pretend like they were kids. We did do that, but that was like one time. Like that whole class, you had to teach one lesson and that was it. That's like a whole class. So I don't know. Psychology is fun. Psychology is very fun. I wanted to major in psychology. I kind of wanted to be a psychiatrist or a therapist. But then I learned I'd have to go to like medical school to do that. And that would have been like 12 years of college, and I would still be in college to this day if I went that route. And I saw that and I was like, I don't think I want 12 years of schooling. I'll just be a teacher. So, but if there was an option to be a psychiatrist or a therapist within 4 years of college, then I probably would have gone that route. But I'm kind of grateful I didn't. I feel like my mental sanity would not be as good as it is now. You know, I'm very mentally happy right now, but I feel like if I went to psychology and I was a psychiatrist and a therapist, I probably wouldn't be so mentally happy, just because of, you know, you have to, in those type of jobs, you gotta deal with a lot of like interesting stories and like stories from other people, and like listen to all their sad stories and stuff. And I don't know. Yeah, 12 years. Yeah, it would have been a long time. It's probably more important to learn about how children develop and learn now that you say it. Yeah, I guess. But since it was all theories and stuff, we didn't really learn. We learned less about like how to teach kids and more about like the stages of development. So when it actually came time to actually teach the kids, I was like, I don't know. What am I doing? What do I teach them? I don't know. Like my biggest question when I became a kindergarten teacher was like, how do you teach kids to read? Because I was like, I know I'm supposed to have these kids reading by the end of the year, but how do you even do that? Like, think about it. Like, you know, reading is one of those things you just always remember being able to do because, you know, we've known how to read for so long. Like, how do you teach kids how to read? Hi, Chibi. Chibu. How do you teach kids how to read? Like, that was my biggest question. I eventually learned it. Obviously, I'm a teacher. I teach kids how to read now, but initially, it's like, what do you do? I remember being so confused. Like, I'm supposed to teach these kids I'm supposed to teach these kids how to read. Like, they don't know anything, and I have to teach them how to put words together put sounds together to make words. Yeah, that was a crazy concept, but we figured it out. You have to hear sad stories and also carry some guilt. Yeah. So for me, it's probably best for my spirit that I went the teacher route, because my job's a lot more wholesome than I would have been if I was a psychiatrist. So I like the idea of becoming a psychologist, but I don't think I could hear sad stories all day. Yeah. I just wanted to help people. I just knew that I wanted a career where I'm helping people. Particularly the youth. I like working with them. I like working with kiddos. Kids of the future, you know? So that much I did know. And so I decided to go the teacher route. It's a lot easier. Yeah, Kevin. Guess what? What we guessing? I do enjoy being a teacher, though. Now, don't ask me that question like in the middle of September, though. I'm probably going to be like, oh my gosh, I hate it because kindergarten is crazy the first month. But after that, it's like, better get 200 XP. Oh my god, you're top tier yapper. Teaching sound like the best route then? Yeah, it was a pretty good choice. I'd say. I'd like to think I'm pretty good at it too. I don't think I'm a bad teacher. My first year, if you would have asked me if I thought I was a bad teacher my first year, I'd have been like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I was like crying all the time my first year because I was so stressed out and I felt like I was doing a bad job teaching. But now I feel like an expert. I feel like I'm an expert teacher these days. You know, I know what I'm doing now, relatively at least. Do young kids have a learning wall that they hit just from that age? Or if you have enough time, could you teach a 7-year-old calculus? It depends on the kid. Some kids, the sky is the limit. I had a kid last year. Some kids are just really eager to learn and other kids don't care. So last year I had a kid who, whenever we had indoor recess, so on days it would rain and we couldn't go outside for recess, he would come to me and he would ask me if I could write him some math problems to do. So I was teaching him how to add 2-digit numbers by, you know, carrying the one type of thing. I was teaching him that in kindergarten. That's something they don't teach until like 2nd or 3rd grade, right? I was teaching him that. My first year teaching, I had a kid I was teaching multiplication to as well, because she knew some multiplication facts, but not all of them. So during recess time and during recess again, they'd be like, "Hey, help me with my multiplication," type of thing. So it's a Sass raid. Hi, Sass. Hey, yo, how are you? What were you doing? Were you playing Dead by Daylight or Overwatch? Because I feel like you usually play those 2 games. What are you playing? What are you doing? Or do you play Fortnite? No, I don't think I've seen you play Fortnite. That's my guess. Dead by Daylight or Overwatch. What were you playing? And were you having fun? We're sending you lots of positive vibes and warm hugs. Oh, thanks. You're so sweet. Oh, do we have any mods right now? I don't think so. Sass attack. I hope you had a good stream. Let me do the shout out because I don't think we have any mods right now. Sass at Sassino. There you go. I do need to play Fortnite for an event. But it's lovely to see you. It's nice to see you too. For people who don't know, I'm a teacher dog and school starts tomorrow. So I'm talking about kindergarten and what it's like now and what I gotta do tomorrow too. Hope you've been well. Hope work is going well. It's going pretty good. Haven't popped in here in a good while. Hi. Hey, Cosno. Cyan, another question. Do you know how to speak Spanish or understand Spanish? That is a very good question because my students speak Spanish. But fun fact, I do not. Okay, so kindergarten, I said before, they're a product of their parents 100%. Meaning, if the parents speak Spanish, they're going to come into kindergarten speaking Spanish. And I live in a very, very Spanish-speaking area. So a lot of the kids won't know any English. So for example, last year I had a class of 18 kids, right? And how many of them? I would say about 11 spoke only Spanish. Only Spanish. So you love my model in the background? Thank you. Yeah, I'm teacher dog. I rebranded last year. Long time no see. Hi, Suka. Yeah, I remember you. I remember all you peoples. What's good? But yeah, my kids speak Spanish. My students do because I live in a very Spanish-speaking area, but I do not speak Spanish, which makes it also very hard to teach kids. I don't know if you know this, but it's hard to teach someone when you don't speak the same language. But the good thing is kindergarten is the perfect grade to not speak English in because we do teach them the alphabet. We teach them letter by letter. So every week is a new letter. Like when school starts, not this week because this week is staggered entry, so I'm going to have different kindergartners every day. But next week when all of the kids come into the class at one time, the first letter we do is the letter M. So that entire week we do nothing but learn about the letter M. And then the week after that, we'll learn the letter O. Welcome to Puppy Academy, Riot. And what that does is then we'll start learning our first word. We learn the letter M, we learn the letter O. Now we can spell the word mom. And we introduce what the word mom means. Let's use the word mom in a sentence type of thing. So kindergarten is the best place to not speak the native language of the of your surroundings. So it is pretty hard, but usually by, I'm gonna say February, my kids understand English because of immersion, right? I'm speaking English all day long. They're hearing their classmates speak English all day long. I took 7 years of Spanish. I took Spanish in middle school and all throughout high school. So that does help, but Spanish, I was never good at it. I could read and write pretty okay, but when it came to listening and speaking, I was really bad at it. And since it's been a bunch of years since I've been in school and have been learning Spanish, I don't know nowhere near as much as I used to. Now what ends up happening is I'll see a word or something or a phrase in Spanish and I'll be like, oh, that reminds me. Oh, I'll look at something. I'll be like, oh, I used to know what this means. I just don't remember what it is. You know what I mean? Like I'll look at a word. I'll be like, wait, I know this word, but I can't remember what it is because I took Spanish all them years ago. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's such a crazy thought to me that I used to not be able to read. Isn't that crazy? Love that it's reflective both your online and offline. Love a good theme. Yeah. I used to be a marching band doggo, but I haven't been in the marching band for a long time, so I rebranded. Do you think teachers should teach other languages? I think it's a good thing to teach. Do I think that it'll ever be here? Do I think America will ever do a big initiative to teach other languages? Probably not. But I do think it's a good skill to have, right? We do have basic classes, right? Like I took Spanish class all them years, but the Spanish was such surface level like class that like even though I took 7 years of Spanish, but the units we did were so bad. Like when I tell you, let me tell you because I do remember some of the units we did in high school because they were so bizarre. One of the units for Spanish class in high school was global warming. Yup, I had to learn how to say the ice caps are melting and that it's getting too hot outside and that the ozone layer is depleting. Yup, I had to learn how to say that in Spanish. I couldn't tell you what the word like dirt is or I can't tell you how to say I walked up the stairs. But man, could I talk to you about how the ice caps are melting because of global warming? Yup. And another unit, I kid you not, border crossing. We had an entire unit in high school when I was learning Spanish in class about how people cross the border legally and illegally. So yep. I can't tell you that I can't say I hopped in the car and drove to Walmart, but what I could tell you in Spanish in high school, I could tell you that there were people who crossed the border when they're not supposed to. When I tell you, that's literally what we learned about in high school. I'm not even kidding. Those were actual units that we talked about. And I remember frowning so hard. Like, why? I even had to learn what the word xenophobia was in Spanish. That was part of the high school curriculum. That literally was a part of the high school curriculum. Hey, Inferno. Yeah, everybody's popping up today. What's good? Cyan, do you want me to talk Spanish? No, because I'm not very good at it right now. Where I live, there are some dual language immersion in elementary schools, and it's competitive to get kids enrolled. Oh, that sounds fun, though. That's a good concept. I would love for my kid to learn a new language. Because it opens you up to talking to more people with more experiences and to traveling more. When they get older, well, they got enrolled in this school, so they already know how to speak the language. Now they can go visit there. You know what I mean? There's no basic phrases and common questions. It was kind of like a difficulty curve because in middle school Spanish, we did learn basic things. Like I learned how to say, oh, her hair is long. She has long blue hair, you know? Her eyes are blue. This is how, I have 2 aunts and 1 uncle. You know, my dad's name is, my mom's name is. I learned those basic things. I learned colors. I learned descriptions of people. And those were the biggest unit. Colors, descriptions of people. We learned how to conjugate verbs, but Spanish conjugation for verbs is kind of hard. It's kind of hard. I don't remember. I don't remember a lot of the conjugations because there's so many. It's so hard. It's so hard. It's the hardest thing about Spanish, is the conjugating of the verbs. I'm sorry, I have to keep clearing my throat today. Just woke up from a nap and then my manager invited me to play Mecha. I haven't played that game yet. That's right. I wanted to play that in the Discord. We're gonna have a community game night, and people said, "Why not play Mecha Chameleon?" That sounds like a fun one to play on Discord. Can't really play that game on stream. I've seen some things from people playing that game online, so it's not very family friendly to play on stream. But if we had like a closed community and play in the Discord, then it'd be fun. Anyone here ever has kids with someone who can speak another language? Raise your kids speaking both languages and they would be native in both. Yeah, it's cool. You don't have Discord? It's okay. I didn't make Discord until I was in college. The only reason why I made a Discord when I was in college was because I started trying to do voice acting roles on castingcall.club, that website. And a lot of the roles, once you got them, you had to have Discord to communicate with the people. So I only had Discord because I really wanted those roles. And I remember getting 2 of the roles on a casting call website. And one of them, they casted me to be the main character lady who did all the talking. And when I finally recorded the lines and gave it to the person, they told me, they said, Cyan, can you sound more adult when you read these lines? Your voice is a little, you sound like a kid. Can you sound with a more adult voice? And I was like, why would these people cast me? Like I sit in my like little audition reel. They heard how high pitched my voice is naturally, and they casted me for an adult woman role, and then we're frowning because they said my voice was too high pitched. And I'm like, did you listen? Did you listen to the recording? Of course my voice is high pitched. That's just how I talk. That's why I'm a kindergarten teacher. It works out with the job, you know? Well, like, yeah, they told me, they said, can you re-record this but sound like more mature? And my voice is naturally high pitched, so like asking me to re-record something sounding more mature was so silly. Because I remember sending back a different recording of me with a deeper voice, but like, because my voice is not naturally deep, if I try to do a deeper voice, I literally sound like someone with a high-pitched voice having to do the deeper voice. Like, it just sounds stupid. It sounds so dumb. And that's what they wanted from me. So that was one role. And then the other role I got never happened. It just never happened. What's your favorite uniform / shirts? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What's your favorite uniform? I don't know. At my job, I'm supposed to dress business casual, I guess. What do you like to wear? That depends. If I'm not working, I love to wear dresses and skirts, and I love the colors pink and blue and purple. Hi, Livy. And I like flowery patterns. Like, a lot of my dresses have these flowery patterns on them, and a lot of my skirts have flowery patterns on them. But when it comes to work, I would wear my dresses and skirts. However, I'm a very active teacher. I'm one of those teachers who kneels a lot and like bends over a lot to like meet the eye level of my kiddos. And since I'm young and I'm mobile and I can get off the ground, sometimes I'll sit down on the floor next to the kiddo, you know, because I'm mobile. I don't know. A lot of the older teachers can't do that, so I can. Yeah, I'm a kindergarten teacher. So I do wear pants every day. I don't wear dresses or skirts to work at all. That, and also my building's always cold. No matter what season it is, that building is always cold. If it's cold outside, it's cold inside. If it's hot outside, it's cold inside. So I'm working in elementary school as well. Hey, that's pretty cool. I'm a kindergarten teacher. There's something weird about saying to an adult they don't sound like an adult. By definition, you sounding like yourself is sounding like an adult. Yeah, I've had a lot of people ask me over the years of streaming if I'm putting on a voice when I stream. And no, not really. I don't really put on much of a voice when I'm streaming. Now, sometimes my voice will be a little higher, but it really depends on what I'm doing. Like right now, if we're just talking, my voice is like, this is typically where I just talk at normally. This is how I sound. But like maybe if I'm playing a game and I'm like really excited, my voice gets a little higher. But that's just because I'm not boring. I don't know. I feel like monotone. I feel like it'd be a really boring stream if my voice was monotonous. You know, I was just you know what I mean? Like if I just went to stream and talk like this all day, I feel like that would be very boring. But I fluctuate in my tone and my and sometimes I talk higher, sometimes I talk lower. But no, I don't put on a voice for stream. I just sound like this. And it's really funny because there's like people who make fun of VTubers who say that, you know, VTubers have high voices and they're like, and VTubers be like, this is just my normal voice, and everyone's like, you're lying. But like, I don't think my voice is too high to not believe me though. Like, I'm not talking like this every stream. Like I feel like my voice is, it's higher pitch, yes, but it's not too high that it's unbelievable. You know what I mean? I wish my building stays cold all year round. Yeah. Sometimes things don't work properly though, and it'll get really hot, but most of the time it's cold. Does elementary schools still do days where they watch a movie? Yes. Usually that time is just during like the winter party. You know, right before winter break, we have a winter party. We make gingerbread houses every year. I'll probably do another. Excuse me. I was thinking about this year doing another Thronathon when the winter time comes, because I usually do a really sad Christmas party. Sorry, we don't call it Christmas party. Sorry, you can't put holidays in. You can't do that. We call it the winter party, right? I'm also in the US. Yeah. We do winter parties, and I usually do a pretty sad winter party. We make gingerbread houses, and that's pretty much it. But if I did like another Thronathon this year for around Christmas time, around the holidays, and we can get some more stuff, then we can have a bigger party. But usually I only buy, because gingerbread houses are expensive, by the way. Like if you I buy 4 gingerbread houses for kids to do, so that each table can make their own. And oh my gosh, that costs an arm and a leg just to buy. I buy 5 because I have 5 tables. That costs a lot. It's like $10 to $20 per gingerbread house. So I don't usually buy more than that. But like if we did a fundraiser like we did like last time, and we can get some like more party materials and stuff, that'd be really fun. But yeah, it's an arm and a leg. Kiddos is going to become part of my regular vernacular because of you. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Yeah, hey, kiddos is a nice term. I feel like it's a very friendly term of endearment. Welcome back, Jake. My mom works at a nursery, so that's basically the same thing, but in the UK. Yeah, close enough. I was going to go into IT, but I last minute decided I'm going to take early childhood education courses. Ooh! You going to teach the little ones too? Or are you going to work at daycare? Early childhood can go either or. You can either work at daycares or you can be a teacher. I guess it really depends on the state too. Some states do not. Oh, you said you're in the UK though. No, that's a different person. That's why you got the same color. Inferno says they're going to do early childhood. Okay. It depends on the state though. Really look up what early childhood means in your state, because what age range early childhood is considered really changes between the states. Like some states will consider it like birth to kindergarten. Some will consider it birth to like age 7, you know, like 3rd grade. Some will consider it like birth to age like 6. Some states will consider it birth to pre-K, so you can't even teach it in elementary school. Like it really depends. It really depends on your state. So I would really look into what early childhood means where you live at, because it is very different from state to state. That also means that if you got like a degree in early childhood and then you switched states, it might get kind of complicated. Kindergarten here? Oh, okay. It's birth to kindergarten. Hey, Gojo! Get pads? Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll accept your pads. Sounds like a lot, but I'm in the UK, so I don't know much. But if I have to pay over $7.50 for a gingerbread houses, I think I might evaporate. That's why I said our winter parties usually kind of suck. Like, I would do more, but when I tell you them gingerbread houses prices be up there. Phew! I'd be like, yeah, guys, let's make gingerbread houses. And then I go to the store to go buy some. And I'm like, holy moly, dude, this stuff costs an arm and a leg. That's why that's all we do during the winter break. That is all we do during the last day. We make gingerbread houses, we watch a movie, and that's it. That is it. Because anything more, and I'm going to be out of money. Buffy Detective here to help you out with the watch time. Oh, thank you. I really need watch time. Y'all hear that YouTube's making it harder to get YouTube partnered, dude? I need to get YouTube partner before they change it, dude. Because they're making it so that you need 8,000 hours of watch time. Right now, you need 4,000. I'm like nowhere near there. So, it feels like luxuries are more pricey. And it's sad when it's the fun stuff. Yeah. A lot of classroom fun stuff cost an arm and a leg, to be honest. I'm gonna be real. Like, I'd be like, that looks like fun. I want to do that with my class. And I look at the price. I'm like, haha, never mind. Some of my coworkers do a lot of fun stuff, but that's because they know a lot of people. Like, I have a coworker who, like, she's very involved with her church. So A lot of times she has people from her church who will help her out. She'll have volunteers from her church literally come to her classroom and help teach. Like, she has volunteers from the church who would come to her classroom and help teach the kids to read like every week. It's kind of crazy. Like, that churchgoer will pull up their own small group, and it's like, man, part-time VTubers in education as a career feels rare. Yeah, I know a handful of VTubers. Kieran and Doyle, VTuber. He's a high school teacher. There was another VTuber that was a high school teacher too. Their name is Sly. And then Yami was a pre-K high school teacher. I mean, pre-K high school teacher. That's funny. He was a pre-K teacher. That was his whole theme. He was a pre-K themed VTuber. I think he recently made a comeback. I don't know. Is that subcontracting teaching? I don't know what that means. Do you play Roblox? No, I do not play Roblox. My favorite teacher was my French teacher. My favorite teachers, I don't have a favorite, but I have a lot of teachers that I remember because I like them. Like, I remember my 3rd grade teacher, I liked her. My 4th grade teacher, I liked her. My 6th grade math teacher and my 6th grade reading teacher, I liked. And then skip all the way to high school. My English teacher, my senior year of high school, I really liked her. And I guess that's the only list of teachers I liked, so I don't know. Okay, well, in 1 minute, the ad break is going to start on Twitch because I stream to Twitch and YouTube. I will be putting the Be Right Back screen on during that time. It'll be 3 minutes. That time, put on Be Right Back screen. Ignore the Be Right Back screen. I forgot to change it since it's been a while since I've streamed. So it still says that we're doing a classroom thronathon. I am not currently doing a classroom thronathon. However, if you do wish to support, I appreciate it. But I'm not currently actively doing a thronathon. I just forgot to change the Be Right Back screen. Dollar Tree usually sells smaller but cheaper gingerbread houses. That might be a good alternative. I gotta check out Dollar Tree. I do gotta check them out. I'll be forgetting. I do. That's on me though. Alright guys, be right back. He's just really nice. He's black. Okay, Arle. Be right back, y'all. I'll see y'all in 3 minutes. Ignore the Be Right Back screen. It's a little outdated. Ignore it. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Sorry, I'm a little late. Kotaru, while I was on the Be Right Back screen, my husband. Kotaru was like, I'm going to go get food. Order the food now if you want some. So I had to stop everything and order some food. So, yeah, it took me a little longer. But I'm here, I promise. I always come back like I say I'm going to. I will never abandon you. But also, thanks for the bitty bits, Arle. And also, hey, Ace. How's it going? 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 Food? Crayons? No, I'm not eating crayons. Apparently there's some sort of deal on some sort of smoothie thingy somewhere. I don't know. So he was like, order that! And I was like, okay, I'll order it. So yeah, give me a little snacky snack. And then he also had a deal on some pizzas, so he's going to go pick up some smoothies and pizzas right now. So that's what we're eating today, since there's a deal on both of it. So why can't I see other messages on Twitch? I don't know. I have no idea. That's a new one. Puppy has food? Yeah, as soon as by the time stream's over, I'm gonna be munching. Do you know why soldiers eat crayons? No, why do they eat crayons? Why do they eat crayons? Wow. I'm tired. I wanna play Rhythm Heaven. I should have made today a gaming stream. I've been like talking to you guys, but in the back of my mind while I've been talking to you, my brain has been saying, play Rhythm Heaven. Play Rhythm Heaven, Cyan. Cyan, play Rhythm Heaven. Cyan, play Rhythm Heaven. I'm like, no, Cyan, you committed to talking today, so now you're gonna talk. My brain's like, no, Cyan, play Rhythm Heaven. And then my other part of my brain's like, no, Cyan, you said you're gonna talk, so you're gonna talk for 3 hours and you're gonna like it. Well, 2.5 hours at least. So, but that's okay. I said in the Discord that I'll probably play Rhythm Heaven off of schedule. So like maybe tomorrow or the day after that. Cause I really want to stream that game. I don't know. It's a fun little cute little game, and I really want to play it. And I'm at that point where if I'm not streaming a game that I'm playing, I always feel like, man, I could be having so much more fun if I was playing this game on stream, type of thing. And I was playing Rhythm Heaven the other day, and I was constantly feeling that. I was like, man, you know, I'd be having a lot more fun if I was playing Rhythm Heaven on stream right now. It's such a fun, cute little wholesome rhythm game, and I really want to play it on stream so bad. But I also need headphones. I need headphones. I have headphones that plug into the computer, but I need headphones that plug directly into the monitor so I can get the sounds correct and better timed if I'm going to play a rhythm game. So, you had 205 XP? Yeah! That's a lot of XP. I heard completion's impossible with how many levels of perfects there are. Yeah, the way Rhythm Heaven does perfects is really odd, because I was confused before, because I was like, yes, I got all of these right. I'm gonna get a perfect. And then it would say amazing. I'm like, wait, why am I getting amazings and not perfects when I didn't miss a single thing? Yeah, you have to wait until the game goes, you want to try getting perfect on this one? It'll literally randomly pick one level, and it'll be like, you have 3 attempts to get perfect on this. And if you do not get 3 perfects on that, if you don't get perfect within 3 tries on that one, then you just can't get perfect on that, and you gotta wait again. Like, it's really interesting how it handles the perfect situation. And yeah, I'd safe to say I haven't perfected any of them. I'm only on like remix. I'm only on like group number like 5 of the Rhythm Heaven. I don't know what you call them, little groups. I don't know. Everything's in groups of 5. You got 5 levels here and 5. I'm on the 5th group of 5. I don't know. Cyan, who are your OGs? When it comes to VTubers, I guess the OG VTubers are like OG chat people, because there's some people who's been in my community forever, like Ranger. I think his name is Jinx1 now. Ranger has been with my community since like day 1. He's literally been there since day 1. Jellybean, what his name? Jello Storms on Twitch, I believe. I call him Jellybean. He showed up to my first Terraria stream, which was like 1 month into me streaming, and he's been here since. Although he's like employed now, so he like hardly shows up anymore. But he's always gonna be an OG, you know. There's the other Bob. I have a Bob that's been here since for ages too. I have quite a few. Now, when it comes to OG like streamers, like ones I looked up to a long time ago, I watched a lot of indie VTubers when I first started. There was one. What was his name? His name is Okami something, but everyone just called him Okami. He was an indie VTuber. His name is Okami something, but I don't remember the rest of it because everyone just called him Okami. Oh no, I'll never remember. Yami, who was the pre-K teacher, the pre-K themed teacher VTuber a while ago. What it takes to be an OG, to be here forever and ever. These OG people I'm talking about are people who's been in my community for like all 5 years. Like when I tell you they've been here forever, I mean like forever. I do have Hololive Oshis, people in Hololive I look up to. My 2 favorites in Hololive, 3 actually. I like Korone because she's a cute doggo, of course. And she did that Lazy Dog concert like a month or 2 ago. And oh my god, it was the best VTuber concert I've ever seen. And then I like Fuwamoco a lot because they're pretty much a lot of what I wish I was as a streamer. Like they're very wholesome. They're dogs, of course. And they really play up the dog aspect of their streams. You know, they really stay in roleplay, but I can't. I only roleplay a little bit, not too many. And Raura, I love Raura. Raura's so cool. I love Raura. Suisei, Marine, and Gura. Oh, interesting choices. Suisei and Marine have been there for 1,000,000 trillion years too. Gura, did you follow Gura into her afterlife or no? Because Gura came back, but not everybody really follows the VTubers once they graduate and then rebrand elsewhere. But I'll be the first one to comment in the comments. I will keep my promise. Okay. I do remember the people who comment on all my stuff, like CJ. CJ comments on like all of my TikToks. Every single one of them. He comments that he comments like usually a GIF, like hugging GIF. I remember CJ. I also remember there's someone named like, I don't know what their name, now I'm thinking about it, I don't know what their name is, but I know what their name plus their profile picture looks like when I see it. And they always comment on my TikToks and stuff as well. So I do remember that stuff. So I don't want, watching Fauna 2 days before she announced her graduation. Wait, I did too. I literally discovered Fauna and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute, she's so sweet. And then she graduated and I was like, bruh. I follow Ame's afterlife? Yeah, but not Gura's. Oh, okay. Do you like chicken tenders with fries and ketchup? No ketchup, but I do like chicken tenders and fries. No ketchup though, no ketchup. I hope you guys follow me into the afterlife when I join a agency one random afternoon. Oh, Cyan's graduating, darn, where's she going? I always tell y'all guys, the only reason you'd ever see me graduate would be if I randomly join an agency or if I was having a baby. These are the only reasons I'd graduate, because VTubing is my favorite hobby. I love streaming. If I were to drop streaming, like, you know there's something like big happening. Like either I'm having some crazy life-changing event, like my house got blown down and I just don't have access to a computer anymore, or I'm having a baby and I gotta take care of my baby, or I'm going to join an agency. Like something absolutely insane has to happen for me to give up streaming. Even when I was like my first year teaching and I was overly stressed with my job, and like I just came home and stressed and I was crying like every day because I was so stressed out, I still streamed on the Saturdays and Sundays. Like when I tell you, this is my longest standing hobby ever. Yeah. People who miss Fauna, I have good news. Oh, I know Fauna. I know she reincarnated. I just don't like the games that she plays. That's the only thing that stops me from watching her in her afterlife. It's the choice of games that she likes. So that's all. When I graduate middle school, can I have a shout out? Maybe. I will tell you good job and I'm proud of you. I will give you, I will shout you out in that regard, yeah. Because I would be very proud of you when you graduate middle school. Hello, that's a big achievement. You gotta get good grades too now. Make sure you get very good grades. 100%. Make sure you get the best of grades, okay? As a teacher, I always will push people to get good grades. I'm telling you, good things happen to good people who have good grades. Keeping B up is still hard. I got you, but B's are good. B's are good grades. A's and B's. My parents always said A's and B's are good, but they prefer I get more A's and I get B's, is what they always said. Now, my parents might get really mad at me though if I had straight B's. But I never did. I was always a nerd. I'm not gonna lie, I was a nerd growing up. I told y'all I had a high GPA in high school, so I got a full ride scholarship to my college by a merit-based scholarship. Because if you get good enough grades, a college will take you for free. Like they'll pay all the college for you. I had good grades, so they wanted me. And then in college, I had a really good GPA in college too. In all college, I only got 1 B. I got 1 credit hour worth of a B. So my college GPA was like a 3.97. Like I had 1 credit hour worth of a B. And you want to know what class it was, by the way, that ruined my perfect GPA? Y'all gonna laugh. It's a really silly class to get a B in. You wanna know what it is? Trumpet class. Yup. I got a B in trumpet class because I did not show up. That class was only once a month. All I had to do was show up and play my instrument, right? But I was taking antidepressants at the time that I took that class, and the antidepressants I was taking made me absolutely exhausted. Like no matter how much sleep I got, I was just sleeping. Like I never felt rested. And that class happened to be at a time period where I would come back from my room, take a nap, and try to wake up for that class. And every single time I would fail to wake up, and I wake up hours later, and I'd miss it. So I was grateful the teacher gave me a B, considering I only showed up twice out of like, I guess like 8 sessions maybe. I only showed up like twice, so it's pretty bad. I was grateful he gave me a B. He was very understanding of my situation because I was in the marching band at the time. And marching band, we literally practiced every single day from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. So, and he saw that, like he saw the work we were doing, and he was also aware that I was on medication at the time that was affecting me. So he was very understanding. Why is trumpet class a thing? I was a music major in my first year. I was music education before I switched over to education. I wanted to be a band teacher. I wanted to teach music to elementary schools, and because of that, you had to pick a specialization. So I specialized in my instrument, trumpet. I played trumpet for 9 years. That was my instrument. So that means I had to take trumpet class, like lessons. I had to be a part of a band. I had to take a lot of singing classes, stuff like that, basically. Do they have a class for each instrument? Yeah, basically. Whatever your primary instrument was, you had to take a class for. So if your instrument was tuba, you had to take a tuba class. If your instrument, you had to have private lessons with the teacher, basically. Which was funny because we didn't have an orchestra in my class. And in order to be a music teacher, you do have to have an orchestral credit. So literally, you could not graduate at my school with just taking classes from said school. Like I literally would have had to gone to a different school just for 1 class, which is an orchestra class, and then come back. So whatever your primary instrument was triangle, then you'd be a percussionist and you'd have to learn all the different kinds of drums. What is a trumpet? The instrument that goes like, doo-doo-doo-doo, you know what I mean? When you stream, I will tell you, I passed 6th and 7th and 8th over the days, month, year. Got you. I got you. I know a lot of the VTubers and agencies are essentially idols. Some of the earlier Ian folks weren't expecting to have to do much more than stream. I would love to be an idol. Welcome to Puppy Academy, Timothy. I would love to be an idol. I love singing. And I want to get really good at it. But what stops me from... If I wasn't a teacher, I would be idol. I would be an idol doggo. I would be... doing song cover after song cover. I'd be singing. I'd be taking singing lessons. I love singing. I want to learn how to sing so bad. I want to learn how to be a good singer. But because I teach, I teach. That's what stops me. I strain my voice every day. I project my voice for 8 hours straight every single day. If I were to strain my voice 8 hours a day and then try to come home and stream for 3 more hours on some days, and then try to record singing after that, I would have no more voice. My throat would always be hurting. It just wouldn't be good for me. I love the idea of being an idol. If I got into an agency that was big enough for that to be my whole job, I wasn't teacher and dog anymore, I was just idol doggo, I would 100% go for it. That's a dream of mine. That'd be so fun. I love it. But you can't. You don't want to strain your voice too much, you know? That's how you end up with the raspy voice before you turn 30, you know? I took singing lessons last year. Oh, that's fun. Should I send a pic of the piano I inherited? Yes, please do it. Kotaro, my husband's a big music nerd. He played piano for a while. I'm sure he'd want to see it. I'm sure he'd want to see it, to be honest. Idol. Didn't know you were an idol to me. For giving me hope for middle school. You got it. You could do it. I believe in you. Remember to lubricate your voice cords for optimum yodeling technique. Yodele, yodele, That is one thing I've learned as a teacher, though. I literally take a sip of water every, 10 minutes as a teacher. It keeps my throat from hurting. It's something I had to learn over the years. I always bring 1 million water bottles to work with me every day, and I take sips every 10 minutes. Every single 10 minutes. Every single 10 minutes? Yeah, that's good wording. I'll take it. Every 10 minutes. It keeps my throat from hurting. I also know that I don't project my voice properly. I do want to take vocal lessons. Not necessarily for singing, but to learn how to project properly. And I know you project when you sing the same way you project when you talk. But a lot of times when I talk, my throat hurts. And it's random. Like right now when I talk, my throat hurts. And I think it's because I do have acid reflux. And I've been eating real bad lately. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. We went to a snack place 2 days ago. And I had the bestest snack ever. They had an orange cream, cake slice that I got. And we tried milk bread, the strawberry milk breads. And it was so good. We left that place with a bunch of pastries. It cost an arm and a leg, but man, was it the best experience I have ever had. That place, they had a mango donut. And when I tell you, I have never bit into a fluffier donut before in my life. That was the 100% best pastry shop I've ever been to. And when I tell you, my stomach and my chest and my throat were messed up the day after, and they still a little messed up. My acid reflux has been bad because I've been being so bad. So my throat hurts right now when I talk, for example, but my acid reflux has been acting up, dude. That's my fault. That's my bad, man. But it was so good. It was the bestest thing. I love orange cream flavor. It was scrumptious. Isn't a step 0.5 per projecting to kind of engage your diaphragm? Yeah, everyone keeps saying that you speak from your core muscles, and I don't know what that means. Well, I mean, I somewhat know what that means because when you play trumpet, I played trumpet for 9 years. You're supposed to engage your core muscle then, so I understand it when it comes to pushing air out into an instrument, but when it comes to speaking, it's I don't know. Sometimes I can talk for hours and my throat feels fine. Other times I will talk for 30 minutes and my throat hurts. And it's and I know it's because of the way I talk is very inconsistent since I don't know the proper technique. I just imagine that sometimes I'm talking properly and sometimes I'm not. Even when I sing, there are times where I can sing for ages. I'm over here practicing a song I'm gonna do. I sing for ages and I feel fine. And other times I'll sing for 10 minutes and my throat hurts so bad and I'm nah, I gotta stop singing. You had to try the 3 milk cake. Oh, the tres leches? I haven't tried that before. I hear so much about it and how good it is, but I've never actually had one before. Most bought are Mexicans for birthdays and also so good. I've heard lots of good things. I hear about a lot of good foods considering most of the people at my school, the people I'm around are Mexican, right? I'm in a very Hispanic area. My kids speak Spanish. I hear a lot of cool things from them. from the parents too, and it's like I just haven't tried so many. Consider the piano shared. Yeah. Hey teach, I'm back from the bathroom. Oh, that was a long bathroom break, but I'm glad to see you in class again. Posted a bunch of random cool pictures. I took mushy sunsets. Ooh, I love sunsets. Wow, I love sunsets. I'm just kind of stalling now. I'm waiting for Kotaro to come home with food. He said he was gonna get smoothies and pizza. Dude, I told y'all my acid reflux is bad. So that's why we're eating smoothie and pizza for dinner. It's so bad. You know what I ate today, y'all? A lot of nothing too. It took me a lot of years to realize that my acid reflux was actually bad because I wasn't eating enough. They tell you that like low acid can actually mimic acid reflux symptoms, and I never believed them until I started regular eating like a normal like size portion of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And suddenly it didn't matter what I ate. Suddenly I started feeling better again. And it's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy how that works. And now I'm only eating like lunch and dinner. And I skipped breakfast, and even that is just making my acid reflux act up again. Much longer is class in session? Probably not much longer, to be honest. Your girl's getting kind of tired. And I'm waiting for Kotaro because if Kotaro walks to that door, I'm ending stream right now, dude. I'm waiting for him so I can chow down on whatever food he bringing home. Have you tried pozole? No, it's soup, but it's way better than the dude around Christmas. No, I haven't. I haven't heard of that one actually. I haven't. Do you give out super Fs? I teach kindergarten. They don't get A, B, C's, D's, or F's in kindergarten. The way kindergarten is graded is you start at the lowest and then the grade goes up. See, with other grades, you start with an A and then you go down to an F if you don't do what you're supposed to or if you struggle. In kindergarten, you all basically start at an F level and then you go up. So the way it works is you give them a grading. Let me think, what is it? Developing, progressing, developing, progressing, mastery, or exemplary. We give them one of those. Every kid starts in either developing or progressing. That's the lowest tier. Developing means you showed up to school. It means you don't know anything, you show up. Progressing means that you're kind of starting to understand it, but you're not, getting there fully. Mastery is, okay, I fully understand the content. And exemplary means I can go above and beyond. So like we learned 1 + 1 is 2, and you can do all 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 3 is 5. That's mastery. But if I gave you like a bigger number, like 10 + 15, and you can say that's 25, that's exemplary. So the way kindergarten works is they all start off in progressing or developing. And only once we have completed the unit and we have tested you on everything can you move up from progressing to mastery. It doesn't matter if the kid is the smartest kid in the class and he can read on a 2nd grade level and he can count to 1,000 and he can skip count by 50. It does not matter. Because if we have not finished the unit, you cannot give a mastery because we don't know if they master. I haven't tested them on it yet, basically. So every kid starts off developing or progressing. Every single one. Doesn't matter if they're a super genius, they're still developing or progressing. Then once the unit is complete, then we look at it again and then we can move them up to mastery. And then and then if we think they're doing a really good job, like the super geniuses, they become exemplary, basically. So no, we don't give out Fs in kindergarten. Technically, everybody starts as an F in kindergarten, but you gotta move your way up. You are smart. You are smart. How are you forgetting the rating when that's what you teach? Listen, I only do report cards once every like 2 to 3 months, right? I mean, I didn't know the letters. Like we circled D, P, M, or E. I just couldn't remember what it stood for. That's what I was trying to think of. Was what it stands for. Because I was thinking of the teacher rating. Because us teachers get rated something very similar. Like we start off with developing, and then it goes to proficient. So like that's also the DP stuff, but it's a different word. So I was like thinking of the teacher rating and going, no, that's not right. No, that's not right. Like I really was trying to differentiate. While you're waiting, might as well check what I posted. Also, what I did for my mandatory volunteer hours in high school, I just went back to my old elementary school as a teacher assistant. Oh, that's a good idea. When I had to do my mandatory volunteer hours in high school, I used to make dog blankets for dogs. We used to get some, I don't know what kind of material it was, but we used to get this really soft material. It was a square, it's like a square material. And you get 2 of them and you'd overlap them. You get 2 different colors, like an orange or in a green or something, overlap them. And then you'd cut the edges into little rectangles. And then you'd tie the little rectangle ends. So you tie the 2 fabrics together. That's what I used to do. And it was 2 hours per dog bed that we made. 2 hours per dog bed. So that's what I did for volunteer hours. I used to just go home and make a bunch of dog blankets and then drop it off at like a shelter. What's in Canada? But where I am Canada, you can't graduate until you have 40 hours. I think in America, see, I'm a different case because, like I said, I was a nerd, so I was taking the highest, like the hardest courses available. Welcome to Puppy Academy, dastardly lid. Anyways, it was, and in my difficult courses, you were required to take. Part of our volunteer requirements was because we were in the program we were in. Like, I don't think standard students had to do that. I think because I was in the courses I was in, I gotta ask Kotaru, because Kotaru took like, I think he took honors courses. Like, he wasn't in the intense program that I was in. In my program, we were required to do hours like every year, but I don't think the average kiddo does. Have you tried potatoes but not that kind of a whole potatoes? Is split open, is hot, and you put toppings like meat, cheese, and more? Oh, no, I haven't, but I know what you're talking about. I just found out that Japan has a high school, a cram school, where all the teachers are VTubers. Oh, yeah, I heard of that. Dude, I saw that, and I was like, man, let me in there. I can teach some English. Come on now. There is one of the new Hololive members who can play trombone. That's a cool skill. I can play trumpet, but I don't think I'll ever play trumpet on stream unless it's like a goal or something, because I'm not very confident in that instrument. Yeah, I played it for 9 years, but I never was a superstar. Kotaru was the child prodigy. He was the one who showed up when I was a junior. Kotaru came in as a freshman because we're 2 years apart. He's younger than me. And he was the child prodigy, dude. He showed up as a freshman and outplayed everybody in that entire band. So I was not the child prodigy. Kotaru was. I was a pretty average player. I didn't sound bad. I had my moments where I sounded good, but I think I sounded okay most of the time. I can read music pretty well. I do have an issue with tempo that to this day, I've just come to terms with the fact that tempo is an innate skill that some people have and some people don't, because I have a tendency to rush. And I love rhythm games. I play Taiko no Tatsujin all the time. I'm playing Rhythm Heaven. And guess what? And I even played Melatonin on Steam. And guess what all those rhythm games told me? And Mustache. And they all say early. Too early, too early, too early, too early, too early. So I have a tendency to rush, and no matter how many rhythm games I play, no matter how long I play an instrument, no matter how long I listen to a metronome and try to play a song with it, I still cannot stop rushing. So I've come to terms with the fact that I think that's just a part of me. I think I just naturally rush. I don't know why. I have no idea why. Wait, let me read your message first, Kevin. Can you watch the movie Up when you have the time and the choice? If people in the Discord want to. You gotta join the Discord, though. If people are interested in the Discord, yeah, we can. We already need to have a movie night, and people said they want to watch Lego Batman, so we will be watching Lego Batman in the Discord. But if there's other movies that people want to watch, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I really just gotta figure out a good time. Getting back into the school year is trying to get back into the work-life balance. Every year my work-life balance gets better because I'm more confident as a teacher and I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to be pushing the limits of what I can do without burning out. I don't want to burn out, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna try to stream a decent amount and then do like some sort of community event. But again, it's that work-life balance. I don't want to overbook myself. But there's a VTuber Hololive that memes and always plays the recorder. Oh, you're talking about Mori Calapi. I love. People say it was only good in the start. They're wrong. It's a good movie. Hololive Dreams and Rift of the Necromancer are my favorite rhythm games. Oh, I also play Bang Dream Girls Band Party by Ben Doherty. What if I threw this chair at your head? What would you do? Would you still rush? Yeah, I still rush. I'd probably be rushing even more because you threw a chair at my head and got me off task. You'll see. I do want to stream Rhythm Heaven. I keep calling it Haven. I do want to stream Rhythm Heaven. You'll see me rush. I promise you. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Franco. Happy birthday to you. Did you make a wish, Franco? What did you wish for? You wish for peace and prosperity? You wish for something cool? The recorded girl is Kanade? I don't know who Kanade is. But yeah, I have a tendency to rush. Your girl is not very good at that, at keeping in tempo. But I do want to play Rhythm Heaven, and you'll see in Rhythm Heaven. Usually, I usually miss stuff because I pressed it too early. I feel like it's a lot rarer that I miss something in a rhythm game because I'm late. And usually, if I do miss it because I'm late, it's because I'm trying to overcompensate for being so early. You know, like I'm like, okay, I'm too early. Let me wait a little later, and then I'm like too late trying to overcompensate. But usually I'm too early. So anyways, y'all, it's time for me to finally end the stream today, though I do need to do some laundry. And I also need to take a shower so I won't be stinky on my first when the kids come back on their first day tomorrow. I don't wanna be stinky on the first day. I feel like it'd be really awkward. Like, oh, hello, nice to meet you, teacher. You smell, you know, like it wouldn't be a fun thing. So I gotta make sure I take a shower so that the kids don't look at me sideways. This look at that. It says we got 7 follows from my stream today. I didn't get any alerts. I got 4 alerts, and it says 7 people followed. Just like yesterday's stream, it says 6 people followed, and I got 0 alerts. I don't know why it does that. But anyways, if you joined the stream today, welcome to Puppy Academy. I'm so sorry that my alerts don't work. Ooh. Evo Carlos Santana. I love your name. I will always tell you that. Welcome to Puppy Academy. Well, at least it's working now, though. It wasn't working earlier. Welcome. Nobody likes a smelly dog in the building? Hey! You should still like me even if I am a smelly dog. You should like me if I'm smelly, and you should like me if I'm not smelly. Like, would you like me if I was a slug? Huh? You should like me even if I was a slug, too. You should like me if I was a slug. You should like me if I was a worm. You should like me if I'm stinky. You should like me if I smell good. If I smell like rainbows and roses. And you should like me if I feel like a dumpster. Like, you should like me no matter what. Come on now. Unconditional liking of the streamer is very required here. Okay. What do I be teaching y'all? I teach y'all what? I teach y'all to not like me? Crazy. Do rainbows have a smell? Well, I don't want to spoil the secret. If you ever find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, just give it a sniff. I don't want to tell you because then I'll spoil like the secret of like. I don't want to spoil the secret of the rainbow. You know. But for your own good, I need to make sure you don't. Why? What? Why can't I be stinky? Listen, I was just trying to do a kind gesture, but now y'all trying to make it a requirement that I don't be stinky tomorrow. How about I don't shower? And you know what? I'm not even going to change my clothes either. Yep. I'm going to wear the same clothes tomorrow I wore today, and I'm not going to shower. And I'm going to roll around the dirt a little bit, you know? Get that natural nature scent on me. Yeah. Then what? Yeah. Can't let you. You're so stink. It's like making sure a friend doesn't not eat when they need to. Okay, fine. I won't be a stinky girl. I won't be a stinky girl just today, okay? Just today. Like I say at the end of all my streams though, guys. Sayonara, hope you have a good day. I made a stream schedule. My goal is to stream Saturday. I mean, not Saturday, Thursday. With Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. But like I said, I'm working on my work-life balance right now. So I'm testing the waters, being back into my job. So I'm gonna try to stream Thursday, but Thursday might come and I'd be like, guys, I'm too tired to stream. So I'll let you know how I'm feeling, but I should be good. Because staggered entry with kindergarten is low stress. Now, next week is when we gotta worry, but I should be good for this week. But anyways, guys, I see you Thursday, allegedly. Maybe before that, because I do want to stream Rhythm Heaven pretty badly. No, low-key. I might do like an hour Rhythm Heaven stream just randomly, and then... Wait, really quick question. Is what if one of your student parents discovers your channel? They never will. Well, I don't know. I haven't come across that yet. It is a possibility, but... A lot of the parents are like old though. Like old people don't be like watching VTubers. Anyways, goodbye y'all. Goodbye.